Are you gonna start at any
Nope.
at any
keep
point?
on. Hello and welcome to the Pixel Podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm here. I'm actually here. I'm in a room, and I'm sitting in this room with me in the same room at the same time is Ethan.
Yeah, what's up? I'm here. I'm back. It's warm in this room.
And Ricardo.
Hey, what's here? It was dark in this room.
Now it's not. It's warm and it was dark. Things you're learning about this room.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put this on the podcast.
Okay.
So I
Oh,
got
no,
to Ethan's
not- no,
house.
no,
I got to
don't
Ethan's
sp-
house
Oh,
today,
no, the internal
and he's
dramas.
just sitting on his bed in a really dark room. The
It's not
curtains
that
are
dark.
shut.
No, they're not. They were
The-
partially open.
They were shut. The
They-
curtains
they're
were shut.
partially
It was a
open.
dark room,
They're partially open.
and I come in and I'm like, "Hey man, why is it dark in here?" And he said, "It's dark in here."
Yeah, the curtains are partially
And that
open.
was the end of the discussion, as if like I was a crazy person that Ethan was sitting there in the dark, and then he revealed later he was taking a nap, so he was sitting there in the dark, and
But
he
I opened
knew
the
it,
curtains.
and yet he wants to make me seem like the
The
asshole.
conspiracy is growing wide open.
The curtains are open, all right? Listen, when you've been
It's
sitting...
Caught
more-
in the lie,
more what-
Ricardo.
I
hunting down the facts.
spotted the contradiction.
All right, listen. Listen here,
So-
bub.
so,
Listen here.
uh,
Shut up, Matt.
so
Listen
you
here.
said
No.
that earlier.
Don't you get out of here with your contradiction garbage. Listen.
Nice to
When
New
you've been
York.
sitting in a dark room for a while, your eyes adjust,
Why
and
is
you
Bernie
do,
Sanders here?
and you get used to it, and then
80%
it takes
of
someone.
the population
it takes
is sitting
someone to
in a
come-
dark room.
It takes someone to come in and tell you your darkness, and then you realize you've been sitting in darkness your entire life. It takes someone who's seen the light to know.
Big money spenders are making rooms light all over the country. They're paying candidates billions of dollars. It's huge.
It's a huge difference when a room is illuminated and a room is dark.
How many lumens are in this room right now? How many lumens? Do you have your light meter out? I had my light meter out.
There should be affordable, free light available to every person in America. It's not a crazy thing.
I don't know. This guy's talking about there being light everywhere. It just seems like it's unrealistic to think about.
I mean, Congress is
How are-
never,
where-
Congress is never going to get it
Look,
passed.
where
I
are we
mean,
gonna
they're-
get all that light from?
Yeah.
Where are we gonna get all that light from? I just don't know. He doesn't have an answer for all that light.
It's crazy that 1% of the population has 90% of the light. We need to redistribute the wealth
Of light.
of light.
That has been the Burncast for today.
Do you guys feel the burn?
The other thing that I was thinking of is just that Ricardo, this detective, like, he said the room was not dark. The room was dark.
I was more taken aback by the
Monologuing
fact that I
instead,
didn't
just-
realize it was dark in here.
And then you're going, why would he say the room wasn't dark? It was a question I knew I had to find out, but I didn't want to know the answer to.
You can't
To
just
be
walk in-
continued next time on
Apparently you
True
can't just,
Detective Part 3.
I can't tell.
can't
Just
tell.
live in darkness, and
He's
someone has
light
to come in and tell me.
Speaking of darkness and light, I hear Ricardo's been involved in a Brotherhood of the Light. I don't know if that's what it's called. Something like that.
I mean, the game,
Close
the
enough.
name of the
Dark
game's-
Souls.
the name of the game's called Dark Souls.
Yeah, but light.
like that was
Yeah.
way easier to segue because I was sitting in the dark, but it's cool.
Yeah, but I said darkness and light. This
Ah,
Game's
that's true.
all
both
about
things.
disparity.
Hey guys, before we talk about video games, I forgot to mention it's our 100th episode, and I wasn't gonna forget that. and
Whoa!
I did.
What special thing are we doing for our special episode, Matt?
This episode is much funnier than all the other ones.
See if you
We're
can
gonna-
spot the difference.
Spot the contradictions.
We're gonna try a lot harder this time, guys. That's the
Before we've
difference.
been
phone it
before we've
in.
been phoning it in, like literally in the last like 6
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
actually.
Via internet.
Uh,
Ethan rhythmically snapping.
we were
for no
gonna do a
reason.
behind the scenes video. Now I've said that out loud. So Ricardo's already vetoed that.
It's not too late. We're already recording.
Yeah, I can get my phone out.
we just have We're just lazy.
It's
That's the
It's
problem.
tired, man.
It's tired.
It's tired.
It's tired.
It's tired. The day is tired.
The room is dark. The day is tired.
Oh, the other day, I was at Target buying things.
And they were like, "Congratulations on 100 episodes."
No, and it was sunny.
You're like, "What the heck?"
And it was sunny outside, and then it started raining.
Sunny
and
outside,
I was like,
and
the-
the
and I
wolf
thought
is
about
giving-
tweeting out just the wolf is giving birth, but nobody would understand what that means.
I would have, and he would have, and
That-
the 3 people that listen to this podcast,
The wolf
they
is
would've
That's
giving
why
birth.
I Snapchatted that when it was raining outside and it was
said-
sunny, and I just started yelling, "It's the wolf is giving birth!"
I can't remember the other ones. There were other.
Doesn't matter,
There was like
that's the weirdest
spitting.
one.
There was other ones like the old man is spitting.
The
or
devil
other,
is beating his wife.
That's
yeah, that
one.
was the other one that was really weird.
Yeah.
The wolf is giving birth makes me just think like there's a giant wolf out there, and it's just you're getting like
Gross.
yeah,
just
gross.
getting all kinds of
Getting some
bad
Roman
juices.
origin
I mean,
stories going on there.
seriously. Well, devil beating his wife is pretty gross too.
Devil, don't beat
in a
your wife.
different way. In a different way.
In a lot of different ways.
But yeah.
Anyway,
100 episodes.
sure
Like
is
I
a
said,
lot.
what
A
you
lot
say.
funnier than normal.
Don't worry, we'll get you guys on the 150.
Starting now. Now it's more funny.
But yeah, I
Dark
guess
Souls
Dark Souls
3.
3. I've been playing a lot of that, not as much as I really wanted to. But yeah, as you mentioned, playing as a warrior of sunlight and helping out people beat bosses and stuff. That's a nice bit of jolly cooperation. Bosses in this game really don't like when you have multiple people fighting them at once.
So
The
that seems
bosses-
like it. I mean, that's like the other games like that too, though.
But see, I didn't know that. But all the bosses in this game go down pretty easy if you have multiple people helping you fight. Like for example, I don't think it's spoilers, but in the Cathedral of the Deep, you fight this boss called the Deacons of the Deep,
Yeah.
and it's just like a mob of enemies, and essentially one of them is glowing, and you have to kind of get through the other enemies to that one enemy, and then that deals damage to the overall boss. And then like they continually spawn, and at some point halfway through the fight, like they start like ones on the outside start casting like this darkness, and like when it gets to a certain level, it curses you and you die. So it becomes a race essentially at that point. So it's
But with
kind of
multiple
like
people.
so like yeah, if you're playing with one guy, it's kind of like a weird strategy where you're trying to kite like the crowd over to one side and then roll back the other side and get the one guy who's like lit up, and or just like cutting through a few of them so you thin the herd of like where the next one, like the next guy that's possessed by this red aura gets to be. But when you're playing with multiple people, it's literally just 3 guys just beating up an entire crowd of guys, because they're not very tough enemies and they kind of get stun locked by your attacks. So it's literally you just roll in there with 3 guys and just beat the
Nice.
boss to death, and it doesn't have any chance really.
Pretty great.
Yeah. So, I have no problem doing that because the rest of the game is so challenging, like that. If I roll to a boss and I know it's gonna be a scary boss, I have no problem summoning other people to help me out, help me beat the boss.
Yeah, I feel like to some like extreme Dark Souls players, that's like sacrilege.
Yeah,
you
but
always go
I
solo.
I don't care. I know like that's the thing is like bosses technically scale to how many people there are, but it really doesn't make a difference.
Well,
Honestly.
it's mainly because I've noticed a lot of time when I was watching like Dark Souls 2 or Bloodborne streams that
Mhm.
like the boss AI can't focus on more than one person
Yeah.
at a time. Like it can
Mhm.
switch to other people, but
and-
it will only attack really one at a
Exactly.
time. And so if the other person just goes behind the boss, then
Yeah, and a lot of their attacks are sweeping or they're like area of effect attacks, so they can like deal with multiple people attacking at once. But a lot of the time, just taking the focus off of you is enough to like give you free reign to kind of just wail on it for a while. So like I've tried to do that when I've helped other players too, is that like if they're getting focused down by the boss, I literally just throw myself like in front of them and just start trying to get the aggro off of them, because it's once it's gone, like they have pretty free reign to heal and to run back and stuff. So that's been fun. I've tried to figure out how some of the other covenants work to less success.
This is just one of the earlier ones that you get access to.
Yes. The earliest one you get is one called the Way of Blue, and you put that on, and essentially this is supposed to be for like somewhat beginner players, because the way that the Way of Blue technically works is that when you have it on and you get invaded by another player, it's supposed to summon players from this other covenant called the Blue Sentinels to come in and help you out. And so I actually found the Blue Sentinels Covenant and was rolling around with that for a little while, embered up, like ready to go help people. But I played as that for a couple hours and never got summoned. So I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I didn't know what I was doing.
The internet was turned off.
They very well could have been. It's not in my room.
Oh man.
But yeah, I really like that game.
Are you enjoying it more than the other Dark Souls games, or
absolutely,
around the same?
I'm actually enjoying it a lot more. I don't know if it's because I'm just like, I'm still very cautious and very scared of a lot of things, but at the same time, like, I think I've let go to a certain extent of like, if I lose my soul, I'm just gonna lose my soul, and it's not that big of a deal or whatever, and have a little bit going into it with a little bit more confidence. Plus, I'm enjoying the breadth of a lot of the other systems more than in past Dark Souls games. So I'm really liking it. I haven't gotten to play as much of it in the past week as I really wanted to, but hopefully tomorrow I have the day off, so could just really go back at it.
Yeah.
To the fullest.
Get them souls.
Yeah, but I really would recommend it. It's actually probably the easiest one to get into. I mean,
considering how the first one was so esoteric in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, like,
they can only go up.
Yep.
Well, and a lot of it's been just picked apart in terms
That
of
too.
the first one was esoteric at the time because no one knew what the hell anything was, and now everyone knows a lot of the conventions and knows to look down every nook
Not
and cranny.
me, but yeah, I guess.
But you can find
Yeah, I
out.
could look
You just
up, yeah.
Google search and you'll get a bajillion.
That's effort. I'm gonna put all my points in luck, right?
yeah,
Attunement.
you'll get some pretty good drops, but that's about it.
Do they still have luck in this one?
Yes,
can't
luck
remember.
is a stat you can actually put.
Luck wasn't in Bloodborne. It's
Yeah.
the one I know the best.
Right now, I'm building like a strength faith build. So like I hit hard, and then I can use miracles to heal
And you
up.
pray
and stuff
hard.
like yes, and I pray hard.
Hit hard, pray hard.
Jesus, man.
Yep.
Hit, pray, love.
One interesting thing is that they got rid, like, Dark Souls 2 had a pretty in-depth dual wielding system for weapons, and Dark Souls 3 was just like, F that, get that out of here.
It seems like a lot of Dark Souls 3 is just like, Dark Souls 2, what's that?
Instead, you get certain weapons, instead of a two-handed mode, they just have another, like,
Stance.
another one of itself, so that you can now,
Wait, you
you're
can
now
just-
dual
You
wielding.
just like pull
Yeah.
one out of the air? Just
No, like
oh.
it just sits on your hip the rest of the time, and then you just
Oh,
pull
I
it out.
see.
But so like, and ironically enough, the armor set that I'm rocking most of it, and also the weapon that I'm currently using are called the Drang set, and the Drang hammers, which are a reference to Dark Souls 2. So it's like, probably
Drang.
like,
References.
hey, here's your Dark Souls 2, all 10 fans of it.
All
I
Drang,
really
bruh.
want to go back. I'm already thinking of like another playthrough of this, and also won't really want to go back and play Dark Souls 2 now.
Yeah.
So
No, I say that, but I think there are a lot of references to Dark Souls 2 in this one.
there's a
I feel
few.
like I
There
feel like
are a few.
gameplay wise.
There's a difference between, yeah, I was gonna say there's a difference between references and actually like making the gameplay
Mhm.
a thing.
The gameplay is now a thing. Dark Souls
gameplay
3.
is a thing.
The gameplay is a thing.
Ethan, I don't have the list in front of me.
I was
Tell
gonna
me
go. Ricardo's got one more game on him.
Oh yeah, speaking of the gameplay being a thing,
The gameplay, motion controls.
I finished up my first playthrough of Star Fox Zero.
Took all week.
I beat Andros, and man, does that game really at some point say, you know how to use these motion controls, right? Time to just completely.
You better know how to
Yeah,
use
time
them.
to just completely.
Is there difficulty at all in that
screw
game?
you. Nope.
No.
No
Wow.
difficulty. Time to just completely screw you because you know how to play, right? And it's like, well, kind of. Like, why is the last 10% of this game really, really hard? Why did the difficulty
To
spike
separate
I
ridiculously?
feel like in
the children from men.
I feel like the 64 version, the true Andros battle was also really hard.
He was
for me
pretty
as a
hard.
kid.
That was a true Andros battle. Did you get the true? Is there a true Andros?
I don't
battle?
honestly know. What I did go back and now as I took an alternate path through Corneria, I looked it up to see like what it was in this one. And I actually in my mind I was like, how did I know all the alternate paths as a kid? Because there was no like internet really.
I use a
I kinda
guidebook.
just-
That's how I figured
I
it
think
out.
I just I got
I
it
got
from
friends.
Yeah, I
me,
got it
me
from
and
word of
friends would
mouth.
always like.
pretty much.
I think I looked
Figured
at
it out.
magazines and I was like, that's how you get through. Well, because I did not know how to get to the Y.
Sector Y at the
Sector
very
Y.
beginning.
'Cause I was like,
Well, see, that was one of the first ones that we figured
Dang.
figured out.
Mhm. Yeah, so I found an alternate path in Corneria, which leads to another set of missions, and then did another alternate path. Again, the alternate Corneria boss, really, really hard, like a really ridiculous like difficulty spike.
is it the same boss?
No, it's a different one.
Sorry, is the 64 one where it's like,
No, it's
No.
not. It's not like a direct remake of the
Okay, I was
64
wondering.
game.
No, although like one of the last few bosses is the like boss, the alternate boss from the first level of Corneria on N64.
okay, that's what I was
the
asking because
like
I remember
assault
seeing that one.
carrier or whatever.
Yeah, that one. That's
thing.
also the original boss from the very original Star Fox
There
as
you
well.
go.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it's in those
Everything.
things, yeah.
Um,
It's
pretty.
one of the last bosses.
Yeah, he's like the
Interesting.
Weird.
he's like the boss of the level before Venom. or
But do they
something
have
like that.
lava monster?
They don't. They
Oh.
have a flying like two-headed bird
Throw
as
this game in the garbage.
as a
Not.
enemy bioweapon.
That's the enemy boss.
But yeah, the first boss in this alternate path, technically you can't get it until like you play about halfway through the game because you actually need to be able to transform. Well, I guess not halfway, but like 3 missions, and you need to be able to transform your R-wing into the mech, which is a thing you don't get until like 3 missions in, to go and do that alternate path. So I guess new players won't necessarily stumble upon
I guess
it.
it's the idea is that they always want you
Yeah.
to go down the first path
I guess.
in the first part of the game. Man, Nintendo, why get a railroad?
Well, but that's the thing too, is that like now I've unlocked this alternate path, and then it unlocked a new element of the game. Now on certain planets, Star Wolf icons show up, and you can go to that planet, and you'll have a Star Wolf encounter at those planets where they wouldn't have shown up before. It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of cool and interesting that the game changes like that as you unlock more of it. But at the same time, like, man, when those controls really demand stuff of you, is when the game kind of becomes really frustrating. Honestly,
That's a bummer.
it's like
that sucks because fighting with the controls, it sounded like you were kind of like, they're okay, they're kind of
Yeah,
cool,
because-
but
yeah,
now, like,
like-
anytime, at some point when you just,
When you need
you've been playing it so
precision.
long and you
Mhm.
need that, like, you need that precision, like Matt said, like, it's just, that's bad.
yeah,
That's just bad at that point.
because at that point the game had kind of been like, there were a few parts where like, okay, you need to really focus and switch between the two, and it's frustrating, but it can be frustrating or challenging, but there's leeway it gives you. But at some point the game just is like, no, you know how to flawlessly like figure out how to when to view here and like when to view here. Like, for example, that Corneria boss in the alternate path, he's kind of a version of a boss you fought before, except now he's got way more like turrets shooting at you, and you're in this free-flowing like arena mode where the camera is constantly locked on him, and you're kind of maneuvering your R-wing at
Wait,
a
you
weird
can't change
angle.
that?
No, and then
'Cause I know there's like a lock-on button that you
yeah,
can do
no,
for a
but you
certain-
just you can't. Some battles, like for example the Andros battle, same thing until you actually get into where Andros is. You are locked in this really awkward camera, and then on top of that, you're shooting at these. He's sitting in the water, and you're shooting at these turrets that are. So you have to angle down, and then he has a pulse shield that like goes and sends out, which means you have to turn away from him and fly away out of the range, or else you're going to take a bunch of damage, and then you have to deftly fly back towards him and shoot at the turrets, which soak up a lot of damage and also can damage you really badly if you stand in one place for too long. And then also look for the visual cue for this pulse like shield to go back out so you can fly back away from it. It's like way too much to manage and way too difficult
That
for
seems,
the
like a
control
bummer.
scheme.
I mean, that seems like a benefit of where like they're asking you to do too much visually. If they just had a character go, the pulse shield is coming online, then you just know to run away. Like just
it's ironically a weird part of the game where
the hatches are open.
Where Fox goes on the mission alone. So there's nobody else hanging out. And then also there are fighters that will come up behind you and try to lock onto you, which you have to do a somersault, which if you're trying to run away from the damn pulse shield is just going to waste time. It's just it's a mess. That boss fight is a mess. And when I finally beat it, I felt accomplished, but not like in the right way.
Like frustrated.
Accomplished.
That sounds like bad level design.
That's a bummer.
So like the on-rail segments are still a lot of fun. Landmaster segments are fun. There's fun in here, but when you're fighting the controls, it's not fun.
Yeah, when they're designing things around the controls and around you, like around you seeming to have like a perfect mastery of these weird funky motion controls that require you to look at two screens at the same time. Like,
which hey, it's almost like reviews had said.
Something along those lines.
The controls really affect the fun of this game.
But what about have you played Star Fox Guard?
I haven't played it yet.
You got the disc version, right?
I came with it, but I haven't popped it open yet.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard. No one's like really reviewed that as much, but I hear that's actually pretty good.
I've heard it's fun, and I've actually meant to bring it a couple of times because apparently it's fun when you have multiple people spotting for you while you're also playing. Because it's a weird like tower defense game where you're switching between cameras.
You have like all these CCTV cameras, and you have to like find where the robots are in your facility and shoot them.
Yeah, so
it's like Night Trap.
I've heard it's good, but
robots.
I haven't played it yet. So, but it does your $60 purchase of Star Fox on disc includes Star Fox Guard.
Which is a separate disc, right?
Yep.
It's like a whole separate game.
Completely
yeah,
different
you can
box.
buy them on in the store. They're in the eShop. They're completely separate.
Yeah, and it's funny because
together.
like when you play Star Fox Zero, there's a little icon that takes you to the store where you can buy it. But if you have it on the disc, you don't need to buy it. So it's actually, like it's funny because the box that comes with Star Fox Guard on the back has like the neat little artwork with Slippy and like I guess Slippy's dad, like
it's his uncle.
Oh, is it his uncle?
Yeah.
And then like there's cute little artwork of the robots on the back, and it says, you don't have to buy the Star Fox Guard game on the eShop, you have it right here.
Yeah.
So it's
please do not buy this again and
please
get mad
don't
at us.
try to buy it also from the main menu of Star Fox Zero.
Weird.
That's almost like Nintendo doesn't understand how these weird
internet
in-game shops work and stuff.
Wah, wah, wah.
So yeah, Star Fox Zero, it's okay, it's fine.
I still want to try it.
Yeah, I recommend playing it.
When you're done playing it. Let me know. And
I recommend
give it a shot.
at least getting through the game once, and then seeing if you're still hungry for more. I still want to see where these alternate paths go. But,
yeah. Are they new planets or just different versions of the same planets?
There are new planets, like in the old Star Fox. Like there will be planets that you'll go through the normal, like campaign with, and be like, "But wait, how do I go there? How do I go there?" This is how you go there. And there are certain different versions of the same planet also. Dealing with portals, because that's all what this game is about. It's like Star Fox 64, but Andros has portals.
Whoa. Broken the Aperture Labs.
Yeah, they have to just add a new twist.
A new twist to a familiar formula.
Speaking of a new twist to a familiar formula and motion controls, I played The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD.
Oh.
Because I got given that for my
birthday.
Did you get it with from my in-laws.
Did you get it with the amiibo?
Yeah, it came with the wolf amiibo.
Oh, how many amiibos you got now?
Just 2.
That's it. It's a taste, man. It's just a taste.
You got 2 as well.
Yeah, and I want more. No, don't.
No, yeah, I got given it, so I didn't buy it, so I'm not word. And then I'm like, I'm gonna put the amiibo on the thing, and then nothing happened. And I think it's because I was too early in the game for for it to do anything yet. So I'm like, okay, well,
Mario Maker will probably take it.
this goes down over here. Yeah. So Twilight Princess is I think, like a mixed feeling among Zelda fans.
I don't like it.
Did you play it?
I did not play.
Yeah, because I know you're not really big on the 3D Zelda games at all, and you didn't even like it.
Nope.
I thought it was pretty good at the time. I can see it has a lot of failures, but you know what? After playing Skyward Sword, I actually looked a lot. Twilight Princess looked a lot better in my eyes after I played
Really?
Skyward Sword. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The dungeons in Twilight Princess and the items that you get are really cool. They're some of the best in the series, I think. But not that I would know, because I just started it today. I got it yesterday, and I started it today. And I played for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm still in the tutorial section because it's a modern Zelda game, and Nintendo
Tutorials
loves
last forever.
their tutorials. I'm gonna actually, guys, I thought of a special little segment here as I was playing today. I wrote down all the things you need to do before you can get started in Twilight Princess.
All right,
So
let's
here,
see.
let's walk through. All right, so skipping all the cutscenes. This is just like stuff that you're actually doing, right?
Okay.
So you gotta go find Epona, because your lady friend steals Epona at the very first thing, and then you guys like, "Where's Epona?" You gotta go find Epona.
Isn't that just like a woman?
Yeah, stealing your horse.
Steal your horse.
And then she's like, in a spring, you go find her. She's like, "Play that song for me." So then you gotta go play the song that she likes. Then she's like, "Okay, you can have Epona now." Then you gotta go herd goats. So then you gotta get on Epona, and you gotta go through the town. And you gotta herd some goats, and it's like, this is how you herd goats now. And then it's like, here, you want to try jumping some fences? So here's how you jump fences. Then you gotta jump some fences. So then it's like the next day or whatever, you gotta use a hawk to knock down a beehive, so you can get up to a tree and get money. So then you gotta use another hawk to steal a baby basket from a monkey. I'm not gonna explain the context behind any of these things, but you need that baby basket because you gotta give it to a pregnant lady in the village, and she has a fishing pole, but she won't give you the fishing pole until you give her the baby basket. So you give her the baby basket, then you gotta follow her as this pregnant lady slowly walks towards her house, and you have to like follow her. It's not like a cutscene. Like I was just waiting for her to just give me the item. Then she gives you a fishing rod after you get to her house. Then you gotta fish for a fish. Now, some of these things, I'm not sure if I was just doing them wrong, but like, you're supposed to give the fish to a cat, so I went over by the cat, and I fished and I got a fish, and it's like, congratulations, you caught a fish, and then nothing happened. So then I had to catch a second fish, and then that time the cutscene played, and the cat got the fish.
The cat is particular. You didn't catch the right type of fish.
The right kind of fish. So the cat runs into a house, and the shop in the village where you can buy the slingshot. The lady won't sell you it until the cat comes back because her cat ran away. And then the cat gets a fish, goes back to the shop. So then you can go to the shop, you can buy the slingshot with the money that you got.
This sounds like garbage.
You gotta.
It sounds about right for what I remember.
Then you gotta show off your slingshot to some kids, because there's some kids in the village like, I heard there's a slingshot.
This whole time you have not even put on the tunic yet.
No,
right?
no. Not even close.
Jesus.
So then you show off the slingshot to some kids, and it's like tutorial for the slingshot, and then it's like you get a wooden sword in your house because some guy's like, I dropped off something for you, and then you gotta go in your house get the sword, and like, show us the sword now, and then that's actually optional, and I'm not sure if that was different in the original, if it was always optional or not, but there's like, do you want to do it, yes or no, and then so that's at least a skippable thing. There's a baby character in that game who's one of the best characters in the game. He's one of the kids. Chase after so then some kids, the kids see a monkey and they chase after the monkey, and then you gotta chase through the forest to chase after the kid chasing after the monkey, and then there's a dark cave you can't go through, so you gotta buy a lantern from a guy, and then you can go through the cave, and then you gotta get a key so you can get to the kid. The kid's in a cage with the monkey. You rescue them both. Then it's like the next day again. Then you herd more goats. I'm not kidding. Then there's another goat herding.
God.
There's more goat herding. Then your lady friend's like, you hurt Epona by making her jump over fences, and then she's like takes the horse away, and she steals your horse again, and then
Fuck this game.
And then there's an escaping goat that's coming outside, and then you gotta learn how to block escaping goats. It's like a little mini game that plays, and then you gotta give your sword to one of the kids, your wooden sword to one of the kids, so he'll let you go past. Then you
But
find.
how much of this is actually teaching you? This is teaching mechanics in the game, right?
I mean,
kind of.
So far
Kinda.
we've learned fishing, slingshots, and how to swing a sword, which is something that you could have learned
by just playing
the game. Or with like a text box that says press this button, do this, and then shoot or something. give your sword to a kid, find your horse because the lady later has her. Okay, and then a cutscene plays where like the lady and like one of the other kids gets kidnapped by evil monster goblins, and then you get turned into a wolf.
There you go. And now the game. Oh wait,
kind
it
of starts like you at least start playing like game.
Stuff.
Like game at this point.
The thing is,
but you're not actually in the Zelda part of the game.
Oh yeah,
yet.
because
You're
guess
still,
what? You have to play a dumb
you play
wolf
a
section
really long
every
wolf
time.
section.
No,
not even that yet. Not even that yet. We're not even at like the gameplay part. We're at like so you have to then go through like a scripted dungeon for this wolf thing.
Okay.
Then you get put back into the overworld back where you were in your hometown, but you're still a wolf. So you got to then unwolf yourself and. I haven't even got that far yet. This is where I left off. But then after that, you gotta like sneak through the town and do a bunch of stuff to not anyone see you, but like go through the town and stop yourself from being a wolf.
Legend
and
of
then
Zelda,
after
unwolf
that,
yourself.
the game starts where you start doing the things that you do
In
for the rest
earnest.
of the game. Yeah.
Okay, but like this whole time, is there at least like, is the writing at least good? Is there charming things happening?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, so it's. I guess they're trying to I guess their whole thing was that they're trying to build atmosphere or something. I don't know.
Like who you are?
I
Like,
guess
Link as more of an established character than
as
just
this blank face slate
just
of nothingness.
I remember in Jorah's Mask being really upset as a kid when I had to play as a Deku Scrub for like the first while. But at least the Deku Scrub stuff, you were doing a dungeon.
No, you weren't.
At the beginning, you had to like do like a little mini dungeon, and then you walked around the town, and you had to go to the dungeon after you figured out kind of where to go.
No, you didn't do any dungeon. All you had to do is because you can't leave the town as a Deku Scrub. You said that you have to stay in the town, and all you have to do is complete the bomber's quest, so you can go to the lighthouse and look through the lighthouse. That's all you gotta do.
I was thinking before that though, like when you're like stuck and you have to do the jumping section.
Oh,
things.
like
that's
the
very short.
very beginning.
Yeah, it's very
like,
short.
It's like really
but at
short.
least it's like here's some straight up stuff that you're gonna need later on.
It doesn't bother.
But I
to,
remember
like,
being like
stop you every 30 seconds and say,
Exactly.
"Here's how you get in a flower
Yep.
and launch into the air."
And I remember that being
here's
upsetting.
how you open a door.
And hearing you describe this again makes me upset again. I think during the time I was so excited just to play another Zelda game. I was like, "It's fine, whatever, it's okay." But now I'm just like, "That sounds terrible." I hated that game. That game.
That game is not as bad as everyone says it is, but that intro is bad. I will not defend it. I will not defend that.
My biggest problems with that.
sequence.
My only big problems with that game is the beginning and every wolf section ever, which is before like I did not like all that wolf stuff, which is not fun to me. But
There's not as there's 4 of those total in the game though. The sections that you're talking about,
they're all
The
like
the wolf sections. After you complete those, and the game gets a lot better. Where you can change to a wolf and a human at any time, because at the beginning of the game you don't have control over that, and then later on in the game you get that ability to.
you still have to like find stuff with the wolf form, don't you? Like the little orbs.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
whatever.
like
I hated that.
No. That's what I'm saying. There's only
okay,
4 of
good.
those in the entire game, and then once you've done those, then you're done.
The only thing I know about this game was watching one of my roommates play it, and then you would get into sections where you had to sing as the wolf.
Oh yeah,
And-
there is a part where you have to do that. I forgot about that.
And just us spending the next like 20 minutes not properly doing the song, but literally just going with the wolf. And I'm like, this game is really either really good or really, really bad.
I think it has some of the best dungeon design in the 3D Zelda games. Looking back on it, it has some really cool stuff. And as far as the HD goes,
Yeah, how's the game look?
It looks fine. It kind of highlights the age of the game a little bit, but it doesn't look terrible. The faces of characters, like Link, has obviously been redone. I think they completely redid Link, but they paid extra attention to making sure he looked okay. But the other side characters have really weird looking faces, which is I think that's just the art style of the game combined with them just up-resing it. It looked a little weird, and so the one thing that this game does really terribly, based off of especially after Wind Waker, which had like a really really emotive, funny Link character. The Link in this game like has like Botox. He cannot move his face like at all. His face is constantly stuck in this kind of weird like half smile, and then every now and then, depending on the scene, he'll have like a shocked face, and that's the only 2 faces he can do in the entire game.
I think that's I think that's a testament to Wind Waker and why, why I think initially when people kind of wrote it off as like, this art style is dumb. Make a game like the Ocarina. Why didn't you just keep doing that thing? It's like, well, because look at Wind Waker's art style looks amazing still, and the game still looks amazing. And now look at Twilight.
And the HD version of that looks amazing.
And look at Twilight Princess, and
yeah,
there's where you're make it look more like Ocarina.
Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. It's just got that. It
doesn't look amazing.
It looks
though,
like
now.
It looks like an old game.
It looks like a game from 2006.
Yeah.
Which is just to say specifically lots of brown, lots of bloom.
Lots of Gears of War colors.
It's not. I mean, it's not quite as bad as those games. Obviously,
Yeah.
like it's not as desaturated. There is more color than most games at that time.
Hey,
but
listen,
Zelda.
There's a giant worm.
Midna.
So the one thing that Twilight Princess has is it does have Midna, which is one of the cooler characters in all of the Zelda games. She's genuine. Like I got to the part where she's introduced, and I'm like, man, I forgot how actually genuinely good her writing is. Compared, all the other writing is the most generic, bland Zelda writing. Like you're talking about setting the scene and stuff like that. It's really funny. Like this character's like, this Twilight is like the very beginning of the game is like you and this other guy, like, and he's like, Twilight is sure a weird time of day, isn't it? And then like, and then it's just Link going. There's like a long shot of Link's face, and he's just not moving, like completely blank face, like eyes glazed over, but he's slightly smiling. Like
back in the GameCube era, people were probably like, "This is the way games."
No, I remember thinking even at the time, like he doesn't look nearly as.
Well, the problem was that was right
as Wind Waker.
Well, that was right when like 360 was already out and stuff. So
well, they switched over. This is the cross one. This is Wii and GameCube.
Yeah, because I remember.
Right, they flipped it.
They flipped it.
I
remember the GameCube version was actually supposedly pretty rare.
It was. They didn't make very many copies
and
at all.
My younger brother actually played it.
My wife has that one
on GameCube.
My wife played it on GameCube.
And it's apparently the better version because you don't have to use
I
all
hope they
the
don't.
stupid
I really hope
emotion
they
They
don't
were
do
not
again.
that bad. They were really not that bad.
I hope they never do that again. You know.
What?
When they release
Oh,
it on
yeah.
two systems.
That would be crazy.
That'd be ridiculous.
They would probably split the game and make it not as good.
I certainly hope that they didn't sell a console on the promise that the next Zelda game was going to be on this support, like on this console.
And that we're definitely
as,
not
like,
making
the
it for 2.
primary console.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the other thing that is a much smaller character. I think his name is Mallow. He is one of
He's the little baby.
He's
guy.
one of the children in the village, and he is like a little baby, and he has like a really he looks really. All the characters in this game look kind of odd, but he just looks really weird, and all of his lines are the most like sarcastic, like he's some sort of genius, I guess. I don't know what the story behind it. He is a baby genius because like he speaks as like a fully functioning adult, and all the other characters, no one comments on that at all. And later in the game, he gets kidnapped along with all the other children, I think. Okay. But then later in the game, like once you rescue him, he sets up a shop, and he's like one of the shopkeepers in one of the towns that you're going to, and he's always just like, "Are you gonna buy something or what?" Like every time you go into his store, he's never like.
And he's for sure a kid.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I mean, like they never. He's always hanging out with the kids. He is literally a baby inside. Like all the other kids are like, like 6 or 7 or whatever, and he is like, a foot off the ground. He has like a bald head with like a little bit of hair and like little tiny like big old baby eyes, and like other than that, they never address why he's speaking like an adult. Why everyone, unless like no one can understand him or something like that.
It's just like Andy Mill in Office, man.
Yeah.
Remember that kid? Man.
It's just like baby geniuses.
Got peas on my head. Don't call me a pea head.
Yeah.
It's just like look who's talking.
Look who's talking too.
Too much.
Yeah, so those are the two things, that and really good dungeon design that Twilight Princess brought to the table. And a cool, it's a pretty big open world at the time. I remember thinking this is like the biggest Zelda ever. Like it's like huge.
It's
huge.
huge.
Cool.
Huge.
It's huge.
But it's not as big as the ocean.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, Wind Waker.
There's a lot okay. I was like, there's a lot of things that are not as big as the ocean.
I was like, wait.
The Wind Waker.
The Wind Waker.
It's getting really philosophical here.
It's not
as big as the ocean.
It's not as big as outer space.
It's not as big as your dreams and imagination.
It's not as big
as... It actually is. My dreams and imagination are really tiny.
It's not as big as space.
What is
Is
his
that
biggest space?
foreshadowing to
What
is
is his biggest?
foreshadowing?
What is his biggest space?
thing?
No Man's Sky coming June 2016.
Oh yeah,
Pre-order now.
that's a game.
Anything else?
Yeah, I played a lot of games this week. I played what I write down.
You could get. Jeez, it's Matt.
This
almost
chair is not stable.
You got your phone, man.
I do, but I don't have it turned on.
Oh, enter the Gungeon.
Oh yeah, I played
I'll
Enter
just
the
read it to you.
Gungeon.
Just straight up read.
I'll just read
Tell
it to
him
you.
what he's been playing.
Tell them what I've been playing.
Enter the Gungeon.
Enter
You
the
played that
Gungeon.
before, but
I-
now you got a real controller. How's that?
Well, I got a real controller, and I actually played it for longer than like 30 minutes. Because before I turned it on, I was like, this doesn't run at all on my Mac. I'm gonna lower the resolution to
What
a lower
setting?
resolution. I can't see anything anymore. So yeah, now I can see and play it, and it's that game is really really good. It reminds me a lot of Binding of Isaac, but less gross and
Okay.
unpleasant.
What are you talking about?
You don't like coat hangers through children's heads?
Nah.
You don't like
I know it's like edgy and stuff.
You
But
don't like-
no.
like-
worm
shooting
monsters that
poop?
poop.
I also like being able to shoot at angles as
diagonals?
well. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
true,
useful.
That's nice.
That game is really cool. It's got a ton of charm, and the music is really good in it too.
Really?
That's one thing I was gonna say too. It's got some solid music. The bosses are all fun. I love that like most of the enemies are just bullets. They're just like bullets firing guns at you. Yeah.
Bullets firing guns, or
Firing
did they
guns.
say?
I got a super soaker weapon, and when you shoot it, the floor gets wet, and like the whole floor and the entire room started filling up with water when I was shooting the super soaker gun. I'm not sure if that was
What-
good. I stopped shooting
what
it before
element-
it got like completely full, so I don't know if that
What-
did anything.
Okay, I was gonna say, what
Interesting.
element to the game does that add? Like,
I don't
water
know.
being
I don't
all
know.
over the place.
You can put fires out. They're like
figure it out.
they're like secret rooms. I found a secret room by putting a fire
that sounds
out.
very much like Binding of Isaac, where it's like
Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac.
Where you get all sorts of different things and upgrades, and you're like, I'm not exactly sure what
Yeah,
this does.
Exactly. It's very roguelike in that nature. And then you can
Roguelike.
there's like a similar to like Crypt of the Necrodancer or Rogue Legacy. There's a store where you get all your currency dies if you die, of course, but there are permanent currencies that you can get from beating bosses, and then there's a store you can buy things from with that currency.
And will
will
that persist?
It will.
On
It
your
will
character?
put things into the dungeon. It will not persist in your
Hmm.
character. It'll put things into the dungeon. So there are 4 playable characters plus a co-op character that the second player will always
Does
use.
do the characters place any significantly different?
Yeah, they all have different starting weapons. They play the same in terms of their
do
like they can move
take the
around and
same amount of
shoot.
hits, or-
Yeah, they have the same amount of hearts.
Okay.
They have different starting items. So you have like the Marine. He starts with armor, which makes him get 1 extra hit. He has a helmet on. He has better accuracy and reload rate than the other characters do.
Okay.
He's good at shooting.
Because of passive ability he has, but he only has 1 gun. Whereas, like for instance, the convict has a sawed-off shotgun and a pistol that she can use. Your starting weapon is always infinite ammo, and then you have a secondary weapon, and you can collect as many weapons as you want. There's no like limit on how many guns you can hold.
Okay.
And there's some really cool, weird guns out there. Like I got one called the what was it called? Like the set sail or something like that. And you like it's like plot a course. It's like it's like the Corsair is what it's called, I think.
Okay.
And you just like you aim it, and like this slow moving like ship style like bullet flies out and like bounces off the walls a few times, like
Okay.
it's trail like leaving a dotted line trail like on a map, like as if it's like on a map thing. And then when it ends on an X, like X marks the spot when it blows up.
That's pretty neat.
So weird, but cool.
Yeah, it's like it's dumb. It's not exactly like the most interesting thing ever, but there was one I saw where it just fires a giant cannonball. Like I mean, like 6 or 7 times the size of your character, just like this giant cannonball just fires out of it and bounces off the walls until like after a certain amount.
And
of
these
things,
do have limited ammo. These
all the
weapons
ones that you find, everything except for your very first weapon, even the ones that have 2 weapons, only one of those weapons will be infinite ammo.
Okay.
Everything else is limited. But you can buy. There's a shop where you can buy in the dungeon itself. There's a shop where you can buy upgrades, you buy ammo, you can buy items. And you can find treasure chests. You need keys. There are different kinds of locked rooms. There are like altars where you can leave things and it will have different effects. A bunch of stuff where it's like you approach it and you're like, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna put this thing here. Oh, that didn't seem to do anything, or maybe it did. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to keep going.
So it does sound very, very Binding of
Yeah,
Isaac.
like a roguelike. The bosses are really cool. My favorite one so far is the beholster, which is a beholder eye, but instead of eyes, every eye is holding a gun.
I think I
a
saw
different
this
kind of
on
gun.
the.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I saw that on the animated trailer.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, and he just fires up like every single gun he has at the same time at you. It's pretty cool. It's a bit bullet helly, which I'm really bad at bullet hell games, so it is tricky. But I've got to level 3. I don't know how many levels there are supposed to be, but I got to level 3.
Cool.
And I played some more of Hyperlight Drifter. That game does not have cloud saves, so
Well,
I had to start
so,
that over
that
again.
sucks.
I had to
you
start that
probably-
over again. And then I got to a boss in that, and that game is super. I would say I wouldn't say it's Dark Souls. Like very specific. It's not very Dark Souls-esque in like most of its stuff, but there are specific elements of it. Like it throws ridiculously hard combat challenges at you. And also there's a lot of like animation priority stuff going on of like if you start to attack you cannot like you have a dash move which is like your dodge,
Okay.
and if you start to attack you cannot just immediately move into a dodge. You have like a little bit of a delay before you can do
gotta
that.
commit.
You can't
Yeah.
cancel.
And it makes fights really hard where they just, especially because the game seems to enjoy throwing just a lot of enemies at you in a very short time, and you just get overwhelmed very easily. Like the boss that I'm stuck on right now, as like most enemies take 2 or 3 hits to kill. The boss has like 20 pips on him, and then like every time he does this thing along the ground where like there's just a bunch of like squares on the ground lighting up.
What's
like,
the boss look like?
he's a bird man.
He's a bird.
All of the people in Hyperlight Drifter are animal people.
Okay.
They're animal people.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So he's like, and it's really cool. Like I said, that game does some really cool world building. So I've gone up to this like bird sanctuary, which like I think used to be like this kind of like Buddhist-esque like mountainside like village / temple area where all these like birds like raise all these eggs and things like that. There's like one character I met where like every character you meet speaks in pictures. They don't actually like talk to you with words or text. It's just like pictures show up describing what happened. And he was like a guy who still had a bunch of eggs with him, and he was like, yeah, there's a temple with all these eggs in it. Then these other bird guys came with like hooded robes and weird like staves, and they like burnt everything down and like started sacrificing the eggs. And like this game is really brutal. It has like all these sacrificial altars, like these bloody like remains on this altar, and
It's like Star Fox and Dark Souls.
yeah, it's.
Ricardo would love it.
And all the birds that you fight are like these crazy cultists versions of these. Like all these areas, I think have like have these populations that have gone like crazy or feral or something like that around them. And so this
Fairly
guy,
crazy.
this guy that you're fighting is like the chief cultist dude of the bird cult, and he like lights up this like AOE attack where it's like all these squares like follow you along the ground, and like after they light up, they'll like explode in this kind of like so you have to like keep moving to get away from this, but he stands still, so it's kind of hard to attack him because you gotta stand still to attack when this trail of things is following you. And on top of that, halfway through the fight, he starts spawning in like
Other-
like minions to come in, just standard enemies to just come in and fight you. So I haven't beat him yet, but I've been. If I beat him, I think that's that area done. There's 4 areas in the game total, so that's the first one that I've gone to. I think it's kind of open-ended too. You can kind of go to.
Yeah,
there's
that's what
not
I
a
was
strict
gonna
order,
ask.
yeah.
Is that a lot of times areas open up, like for example in a Dark Souls game, but then you'll go into that area, and you'll realize, oh wait a minute, I should probably do that other area first because this area seems significantly more difficult. Is that you getting that vibe or no?
I don't know for certain. They block off 2 areas at the beginning out of the 4.
Okay.
So they definitely don't let you just go anywhere and get your butt kicked. But it's entirely possible because each area has like 4 items that you need to find to like unlock something in the middle structure
Okay.
in the town in the very center of the map. And it's possible that the intention of the designers is like, oh, you get a couple in this area, then you go to a different area and get a couple there, and then like by this point you would have upgraded your character somewhat, and then you can take on a boss because you've then gone to 2 different areas. I don't know. They gave you teleport like options, so I could get back to that area fairly easily.
Okay.
But I'm like in the boss room right now, and there's not a quick like I could get out of the boss room and teleport out, but
Okay.
to get back into that boss room, I'd have to go through a little bit of a dungeon to get back in there. So now I'm like, but there's some really cool upgrades. The game is really sparse with its upgrade points. Like you need like they have these little chips that you can buy upgrades with, and you find little pieces of those chips. It takes 4 of those pieces to equal 1 chip, and every upgrade costs like 2 or 3 of those chips. So, so far I've only upgraded one thing over the course of that so far.
Keep nasty chips.
That game is really cool though. It's got just an amazingly cool art style, and the atmosphere and the world building. The music is very Fez-like. It's just very like ambient.
It's like atmospheric.
Yeah. And it is very Dark Souls in the way it builds the world, and the way like the difficulty and how it throws like enemies at you is very similar. So, yeah, the game's cool.
Life Drifter.
What about Banner Saga 2?
Speaking of cool art styles, that game looks amazing.
Banner
The
Saga 2?
first one, yeah, the first one
okay.
looks amazing, but that game looks amazing too. I basically finished the tutorial of Banner Saga 2.
Okay.
Saga.
And I was really disappointed because it gives you the option to import your save file, and I'm like, sweet. And then I'm like, oh wait, my save file's not. There's no cloud saves. There's no cloud saves for Banner Saga 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my save file is gone because I even like reinstalled Banner Saga 1 just like, oh maybe I gotta like download my save before it'll
that sucks.
before it'll work. So I like reinstalled it, opened it up, and it was like new file. And I'm like,
I hate games without cloud saves now. It just feels so weird.
yeah. I mean, it's not like the end of the
Yet
world. 'cause there's-
another Pixel Legends victim of lack of cloud
like
saves.
of expecting cloud saves and there'd be none. Yeah. So I mean, I was like, but it's not that big of a deal. Like the main choices, the individual small choices that you make in that game I don't think they're gonna matter that much. It's more the big ending choice of which character is still
Do
alive.
they give you an
Yeah, I was gonna say, can
option
they
when
just
you
choose
start
that?
off?
Yeah,
in
just
Banner
you
Saga
can
2,
just
it's
say
the
which
same?
character is your hero and just click that one. The only bummer that I was gonna be okay with it, and I was like looking up what else am I missing out, and the only other bummer is that all your characters who leveled up, they
would have carried
would have
over.
carried over.
Oh.
In fact, this game starts when the game starts up, it says chapter 8. The very
my
first,
goodness.
so it's pulling.
That's
It's
pretty
like
cool.
literally a
Right.
like continuing right off from one of the first games.
So I guess you
like,
have to play the first one. You can't just jump in the second one. Then.
I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
Like the first one is so good that you're not gonna get like, oh, this is not as good as the second one, so you just skip it. Like it's really good. And the story is you're gonna be a little confused. You could if you're good at following movie or video game plots, you could catch up. But they have a on the title screen they have a like recap button,
Okay.
which plays a video recapping the last game, which is fine, but that's more helpful if you've already played the last game, like as a reminder of this is what happened last time.
Mechanically, how different is this game?
I didn't get far enough to see.
Okay.
It looks to be almost identical. I've heard it's better in terms of it's got more stuff you can do in the combat.
Okay.
But I haven't got far enough in it. It walked me through one combat tutorial and then did some of the Oregon Trail overworld tutorial stuff. So I got through that, and I think I've started like the real game. I don't remember. I'm not sure if you do
Gotta
either.
Keep the morale up.
Yeah, did you have to rest to keep the morale up? I can't remember if you had to or not.
Yeah,
I think
you would
did.
have.
Yeah.
You would have to rest to keep the morale because
Okay.
that would be something that would continually grind down as
As you traveled.
as you
Yeah, so
travel.
that's not new then. That's in this game as well. So it gives your main characters like levels automatically. Going back to
Okay.
like the levels don't carry over. So it levels everyone up to 3. And then like the main characters who are like the main players in the story, they get leveled up to higher levels based on what the developers thought was an accurate thing that you should have. But the bummer is I'm pretty sure I had different characters at higher levels, and like my favorite
You
characters are lower
different-
levels.
and
Yeah.
you'd spec 'em
And
to
the
different-
items I had, the attachments that I had for the game.
It's really lofty for them to kind of like shut off new players from maybe coming in on his Banner Saga too. Like that's something you don't see much in video games, but
Yeah, this
seeing
is
it pop up and
specifically
say-
story-driven game.
see it specifically like cut off those people is just really
Yeah.
ballsy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I think if you were just into this, if you were wanting to play this game simply for the gameplay, it's still really good and you could do it. But like, there's so many other tactics games. If you were if you want to do that, just go play Invisible Ink or something like that, which is already considered to be a really really good
Or
tactics
XCAM
game.
too.
Or XCAM.
XCAM.
The reason I'm playing the Banner Saga 2, honestly, is because I really care about that story.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a really good story.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I guess people would care would only be about the story. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I still recommend Banner Saga 1. I know you guys haven't played it, but it's really, really awesome.
I have it just sitting on my PS4.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
Installed somewhere.
Yeah. You should play it. It's really good. It's not super long either.
I know. I want to. It's on the list. It's on the list. All right.
That's all the games I played. I'm done.
The list.
I'm finally done.
All right.
Speaking of lists,
The list of people I need to kill in Italy in Hitman episode 2.
Thank you for-
I was
thank you for
gonna say
clarifying
hit
that.
list. I was
Hit
gonna say
list,
hit.
hit
I was gonna say hit list.
Hitman episode 2. Episode 2 Sapienza, which
Sapienza is what I get.
that's the cocktail I order. Sapienza, yeah. So this is the second Hitman game. It's set in Italy. You have to kill a
Italian.
yeah, I assume.
I got it.
Everyone in the game has an American accent, so whatever. It doesn't matter. So
even like passersby. They're doing the
Hey Giuseppe, get over here.
They're doing the Tom Cruise in that Valkyrie movie where it's just like they're speaking Italian, but you just understand it, and it sounds like American English to you because you're
I guess
used
so,
to.
yeah.
But did they do a whole
But
like?
did Hitler die?
I'm Tom Cruise speaking German right now, and then we're gonna transition into.
Now I'm speaking English.
Everyone just speaks English perfectly well. It's like it doesn't even matter, which is kind of jarring.
Do they not have Italian accents either?
They're the same in the Paris level.
Hello, what is going on?
No, the Paris level, they weren't even like oui.
Why are you stabbing me?
Lolita llama.
Oh yeah.
No.
So,
no.
Unlike Paris, this is like a full-on villa area.
So was Paris, wasn't it?
No, Paris was just one building.
It was one building.
It was
Oh,
one giant
some
mansion.
outside
okay.
area.
It's a villa.
It was a giant mansion. I guess villa is
Villa is a
is
big
villa
mansion.
one house? I thought villa
Yeah.
was like a small like village type area.
No, the villa is like that.
Okay. Well, this is like a
It's
small
like a
town
village.
then.
Yeah.
That you kind of can walk around.
Oh, a villa.
And yeah, like a villa.
Now let me stop you real quick. How are you playing this game? You know, because I know there's different modes for like how you can like fine tune it to like. Do you want it to just tell you where to go, or do you want it to like?
I'm playing the medium level, so it's like it'll pop up with opportunities, which would be like, hey, you can do this, and then
If you like walk by an area, it'll be like, hey,
it'll be
by the
like-
way, did you hear this person talking?
Yeah, and it'll be like, hey, hang out, and then it'll give you objectives of what to do next, but it won't put them on the map. There's one where it just straight up puts you on the map, like here's where to go. I don't have it on that because that seems way too easy. And then the other one just seems a little too esoteric for me. Like, I don't want to be walking around forever and being like, I'm not sure what to do next. So I'm playing this. It is by far like one of the most dense open worlds I've ever seen in a game. The amount of just stuff you can enter into, like you can go into like anyone's house and hang out there
Just
and be
like real life.
just like real life. And you could be like, oh, this is a chef for the giant mansion over there.
So some of them will have significance, but are some houses just
Some
straight
houses
up
are
like,
just like nothing.
what are you doing in
Yeah,
here? Or,
pretty
excuse
much.
me, what are you doing in here?
What are you doing in my sausage shop? Please leave. So there's
Oh, you know I'm in your
Yeah,
sausage shop.
but there's so many like weird little things of all these characters have like pretty big backstories that don't even matter. You just use them in that particular situation. So one of them you're walking by and just hear this lady going like, "Hey, I got you this job. You better do it. You're just such a lazy bum. Ah, you gotta I got you this sick job working for Ether or whatever the giant corporation is you're trying to work."
Remember, it was 2 weeks ago. This was what you were doing beforehand, and then this was also what I was doing.
I would
No,
remember,
okay,
but
it's
my
not-
parents are dead.
It's not. It's a little bit less like that, but it's like I got you this job and you're letting me down, bro. Get out of your ass and come on, get to work. It's like, oh, it doesn't even matter. Like, what is it? What's the point?
These are my
This
characteristics.
is whatever. Who cares? And I'm like, that guy doesn't seem to not care about anything. I guess it won't matter if he's dead. So I walked up and rang the doorbell, and he opens the door, and he's just like, "Look, I don't have any money for you.
He's like,
I don't need anything.
what is life?
I don't
Who
have
even
anything.
cares?
What's the point
Just
of
leave me
anything?
alone." He just stands there looking at me like, "Turn around, go back inside so I can kill you." And he eventually turns around, and I just strangle him out. And I'm like, "Oh man, this guy's a giant nerd."
It says
and he has a whole bunch of video games.
Says victim. It says non-target kill.
Oh, I don't kill him. I'm sorry, I just knocked him out.
Non-target
I knocked him out.
Oh,
I didn't kill him.
then you're good.
And I'm like, wow, this is meta. He's playing Hitman Absolution on his
Is he
computer.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh,
It's
man.
pretty funny. So I take his clothes and I go in and do my dirty work, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do when I got in there. Because unlike the Paris mission where you can be helmet, and kind of go anywhere, this one it's
the superstar
the
guy.
superstar
you can
guy.
Just pretend to be him.
You
and
can just pretend to be him and kind of go anywhere. This one, it's like, no, you can't. There's
the chef can't go into the security wing.
Yeah, and bodyguards will recognize other bodyguards and stuff like that. So you have to be a little bit more clever with how you're getting into that mansion. And there's all sorts of there's just so many different things you can do.
So it's a lot more gated.
A little bit more gated in some ways.
But also more kind of more realistic.
It's harder, and that makes sense because episode 2, it's the second level. You're not gonna play that one first. So there's not one end all be all way, but there's so many weird things. I was just walking around, and the guy likes playing golf. One of the main targets, and he's just yeah, I like playing golf. And you walk by the golf course and it says missing explosive golf ball, and I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. Put an explosive golf ball and have him killed that way, that would be crazy. I have no idea how to even
explosive
do that.
golf ball.
Explosive golf ball.
I thought you said exclusive golf ball. And I was like, this exclusive golf ball.
Exclusive golf ball.
Yeah.
No, but I was actually
One
in
of
my
a
head. I was
kind.
like, is it possible that you could hit a golf ball and hit him in the head and kill him that way?
I mean,
Because
maybe.
I mean,
golf balls
theoretically, but I mean,
hurt.
You'd
They
probably
would.
just club him with
a golf club.
It's easier.
That
But
too.
there was the way I killed him though is I found his childhood memories. They apparently had a troubled past with his mom, and he had all these childhood memories, which are really well edited, and it has music, and he has a narration over his home videos,
Whoa,
which
what?
is
That's
weird.
an odd, that's an odd
It's really
thing to
weird.
have.
So you go up there and you
Huh.
put the home videos in, and it's disguised
Like-
as it's a medical. It's an observatory, so there's a bunch of medical stuff because he's a medical scientist, and so you disguise as one of a mannequin as a what are those old doctors with the nose that come out?
Oh, like the plague doctors.
Plague doctors. You disguise as a plague doctor and stand there as a statue like this and just wait as he comes and he's like, I need to be alone. I'm having an emotional moment. And I'm like, yeah, you gonna be dead. And I kill him and throw him in a bin.
The
And then
emotion
that's
is
where the mission
death.
went to hell for me. As they eventually started finding bodies of the dead priest I killed earlier. Not priest. Mortician I killed earlier. And everyone's like, wait a second. You're walking around in this scientist outfit and you killed someone. Oh, and they just start running around,
How'd
and I
they
have
know
to
it
go.
was
I have to
you?
drop this down. Well, they're just suspicious of me, and I'm like, this has been compromised. I have to kill people to get their clothes. And eventually,
I like how earlier you made a point.
This has been
okay,
compromised.
I'm sorry. I say
have
kill,
to
but I
kill.
just knocked them out.
Oh, okay.
I knocked them out, but then I accidentally killed someone because I don't know what happened. I think the game bugged out, but I was in the sewer area, and I was like, I wonder, because the end of the mission is you have to kill 2 people and destroy the mega virus that they're making. And the mega virus is the one thing I forgot I had to do. So I've been looking around for the secret lab, and I could not find it. So I was going in sewers and stuff and looking for it. I had to knock out a dude who was like, "You're trespassing in the sewer." It's just a plumber guy.
Yeah.
And I knocked him out, and I took his clothes, and I was dragging his body around. All of a sudden, it's like, "You killed him." I'm like, "What?
Oh, you must
How did-
dragged him in the water or
how
something
did
like
I
that.
kill
Maybe.
him?" And then I was like, I guess I'll just push him off in the water and just sit him there. But yeah, man, this level particularly looks super pretty. There's just
Yeah.
so many people, and you walk out and you're on a beach area, and the amount of people in this level really steps up kind of how the Hitman games work, because it's just you have to deal with getting people in the stealth or getting people into an area that they cannot be seen when you take them out,
Yeah.
so often.
This is starting a really cool trend that I think Metal Gear Solid 5 also did a pretty good job of doing,
Mhm.
which is that rather than just making your open world as big as possible, have it still be big, but make it really dense. Have all these really specific AI routines where it's if you do this and show up at this time, the AI is gonna do this. But if you watch and if you interrupt this routine, he's gonna go here instead.
I would
and then,
argue that Metal Gear Solid was not even near as dense as this.
No, I'm not saying it was.
Oh, but you said the start.
I'm saying it started it.
Oh yeah.
Or it's kind of going in that
Yeah.
it's in that same line. But that's what I mean. Those were really cool. Those felt really cool. I'm describing it to a thing that I know because I haven't played
you're right,
Hitman. But those felt really cool. Metal Gear Solid, where it was this time I'm gonna sneak up and Fulton this guy's Jeep before he drives away, and now he can't drive away, and now what's he gonna do? And then he's not gonna be able to go see the prisoner that he needs to go see later, and then I'm gonna follow this guy to this building. So I can get this
Just different options of
optional
how to
optional
complete stuff.
objective and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of thing. As opposed to just a lot of games with open worlds, just trying to make them as big as possible. Having these kind of smaller but really dense
This is a really big level.
I
experience.
think that's
but still smaller compared to an open
way-
world game. Think
Sure.
about it. Compared to an
I
open
think
world.
that's the way a lot of games are moving towards now. I think that more and more they're realizing that people they don't want to just
drive
waste
around.
all
See that
this
mountain?
time like
You can
going.
go there.
Yeah, but why would I want? Is that going to be
Exactly.
any fun? Like,
Yeah.
and then on the same token, you got games like The Witcher 3, which is huge, and then also
dense.
Dense.
Like, is it all? I don't know.
It's
Didn't
dense.
play.
It's not as dense as this game. Because like
Yeah.
the thing that makes this game so crazy dense is just the fact you can go in like every building, and this is like not just like, oh, it's like a small town. It's like, no, I got lost in this town because I didn't know where to go, and I just go in every building, and there's just all sorts of just weird stuff in all of them.
So to me, that's not as impressive as the AI portion of it, of like
Yeah.
everyone following their own like.
Well,
little
people go into
routines
those
and stuff like
buildings
that.
and they're like, okay, I'm going to go to work now, so they're getting ready in their building, and then they
Yeah.
leave, and it's like you can catch them there
Yeah,
and dispose of their bodies. But
put them all in the meat locker.
yeah, there was also
Put them all in the sausage grinder.
there was
No one will know.
there's like all this one of the things I tried doing at the beginning. I just like how if I fail once, I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try something completely different. Because I was at the beginning, I see this flower cart that's been crashed, and they're like trying to fix. They hit a biker, and the biker's
Oh,
like getting
God.
mad at him, and they're like, "You hit me, dude! You guys are such an idiot!" This other dude's like, "Yeah, we hit him. We really need to get these flowers delivered though, because the main guy you need to kill, really needs his flowers a specific day. He's really particular about it." And it's like, oh, I can just take him out. So I try to take him out, but I realized this is out in the open, and I was like, oh no. And the other guy sees me, and he's like, oh, you just took that guy out. And he just starts running, and the biker gets up, like, I'm fine, and just starts running away too. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm just gonna kill them both. So I just shoot both of them with my silenced pistol, and I'm like, yeah. No one can see, and I started dragging him away, and I realized I dragged him in front of another person. The person goes, and
More
it's
witnesses.
and it's really funny when you get something that just says compromise, and you're like, where? And you just see you just move the camera, and you see this guy in this very upper corner just going, just freaking out. You're like, oh no! I
This
have
is
to
This is like the Three Stooges do a Hitman.
It's hilarious.
Just like lines of like this ever-growing pile of bodies.
It
Just
pretty
like,
much turns into
this
that.
person saw me
I
too.
think that's one of my favorite parts of the game is not doing like an excellent run, but just doing a run that just barely makes it, where it's just like everything's fine. Sure, that guy is dead and I didn't want him to die, but it's okay. But anyway, I didn't end up beating this level yet because getting to the end
you
is
can't
super
get
hard.
that virus.
I was able to find the virus area, but by then I had so many bodies on me, and like every outfit I had
He
was
was carrying them
compromised.
all.
Because at some point, like I was just like, everyone just saw me in every outfit, and they're like, "This bald, everyone who's bald, just don't trust him. Don't trust that bald ripped dude."
Especially if they have a tattoo of a barcode on the back of their neck.
They never mentioned that.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
always like I always struck me as that because it's like someone clearly when they invented Hitman in like the early 2000s or whatever was like, yeah, this is really cool. Barcode, man.
But then
It's like edgy and
but
stuff.
it's
It's like the most obvious thing
always
for a
that, though.
secret assassin to have on. Like it's like wait, that's
I never
very-
got why he never wore a wig. Like he'd wear hats, but like just wear a wig. You're prime for that.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Assassin's Creed of like the assassins' outfits and those were always the most
Yeah.
grandiose. Like I am an assassin costume you could possibly have.
white gob,
Like
with
giant
a
cloak
pointy
with a bunch of
hood.
like knives
Yeah.
and things like that up on their
I'm excited to
wrists.
beat it though, and kind of see all the neat stuff that comes, neat stuff you can do afterwards. Because I was listening to even on the Paris level, and I was listening to some podcast about it, and they're talking about how if you go to the very top of the Paris at like house, there is like a Wolfman outfit,
What?
Wolfman wizard outfit. That's what it was. And you
Okay.
can dress up as that, and if you complete the mission with that, you get like a whole bunch of challenge points or something like that. But
Alright.
everyone just sees this guy walking around like a weird Wolfman outfit in this high-class fashion show, and they're like instantly suspicious, everyone. So if you
Yeah.
do anything, they're going to be watching you.
You mean I can't make this guy's cocktail when I'm dressed as a wizard wolfman?
Wizard Wolfman. You don't think you'll be suspicious by that? I am really...
It's high fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really
It's art.
surprised at how much I'm enjoying this game because
That's cool.
I wanted to like Blood Money, but it was just a little bit too hard for me in a lot of ways.
Too Hitman.
A little bit too Hitman. Well,
Well,
this
it
kind of
doesn't-
splits the difference.
It seems like it doesn't explain enough of the things that this one
It
outright
doesn't.
tells you.
This one, yeah.
Or like, but like for a hardcore person, you can turn all those things off.
Yep, and still get the same sort of
It
experience.
seems like Absolution. I think this is what Absolution was trying to do.
but did it too much hand holding.
I think I did a little bit too much of that, and it was more like because it was a full $60 game. It wasn't like all these individual little levels packs. I think people didn't want to buy into
doing the
it.
episode stuff
It's
really
super smart.
It really sold me on it.
Super smart.
I remember when we first heard about it, we're like,
$15
that
for the
sounds
base.
sketchy.
Like that's really good.
And $10 for each level, considering how dense these are and how many different ways you can approach a level,
And how many times you could replay it if you really wanted to.
Exactly, and there's just so much. It encourages replayability. I think that's really worth it and really smart because then you're just forced to like sit down and play each one.
So is the whole thing $60 if you buy every?
Yeah, if you buy everyone, it's $60. If you buy an individual, I think you might be paying more, but honestly, I don't mind because it's like a payment plan kind of, and it's like, well, what if I'm not in the mood to play Hitman or whatever? Then I can come back.
You can always stop whenever you want.
I think once a month they're coming out with a mission. I think that's the plan. I think they're gonna.
And for how many? Has it like 6 total or something like that?
I think there's like 6. I think there's like 3 that are considered the main game, and then the rest are DLC. So I think it's like 6. Yeah, I think there's America left, Tokyo, and then
so what
like India or something?
What I'd be interested in doing now that they've made these big open areas, it'd be cool to see some other hits in the same areas.
They have that.
Yeah,
They have
they do that.
there's the escalation missions where you can it just sets it up like this person's now the target and you have to do it, and then as you complete it, it adds more challenges to it, like you have to hide every body before the end of the mission before you can complete it, or is
the person that it hits just is like a random person?
It's like a random person who has their whole AI routine set up, but they're like completely different and non-sequential. Like last time I was playing the Paris level, it's like some random head chef and some specific man in security you have to take out. And they're both in different areas, so you have to kind of maneuver your way around that. It's a really neat way to extend it. Plus, there's like player-made hits, so people can upload their own.
Yeah, but that's really to do that. You just kill a random AI person. I've seen that demonstrated. Mm-hmm. To do that, it drops you in the level with everyone running their routines.
Uh-huh.
They just kill a person, and that person is the hit. So I saw one.
Oh, really? It's not like you can just make it?
No, you can't make it. So you go in the level yourself, kill a person, and then that's the hit. So like I saw one where literally the guy walks up to the gate, the guard's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh crap!" And he shot them, and that was the hit because it was the first. Because it was the first. It was the
That's
first.
So weird.
It was the first person.
All right.
So someone was like, "I'm gonna play this hit that this guy made." Because that was a streamer I was watching. Like, "I'm gonna play this hit that this guy made," and he like walked up to the guard, and the guard's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh crap!" And he shot the guard, and it's like hit completed, and he's like, "Oh." Okay,
wait, what?
That was it. That was the
That's
whole
a little
mission.
disappointing. I was hoping it would be a little bit like slightly robust.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It seems like
a
it's
bummer. Well, at least the escalation missions. There's like 3 or 4.
It's a cool idea. If someone actually takes the time that should do a real, a real thing with that,
but
then that's cool. But the idea, you can just run up and be the first person you see is the first.
I didn't dive into that. Maybe I'll have to check that out a little bit more. But the escalation missions are already interesting enough.
Yeah.
The other game I'm playing is I jumped back in after a long hiatus. Hearthstone. They dropped the latest expansion.
Now you can play wild mode.
Whispers of the Old Gods,
which is
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Excuse you.
Do you like Lovecraft?
It's funny because this was in the vanilla version of WoW. They had all these like monsters and stuff in it, which is really weird that they're bringing it back.
Weird. They shut down a vanilla server, and then they just drop all this stuff into Hearthstone.
Look at that.
Suspicious.
And then they make
Detective Ricardo's on the case. Blizzard's saying it's not dark in here.
Does Cthulhu look like this?
Blizzard's like, it's not dark in here, and Ricardo's like, is it?
Isn't it though?
Isn't it dark?
Am I the only one who's not seeing this? So this is
they call me crazy.
I'm woke.
But I know it was
is why I'm woke.
You're finally woke.
Ricardo was a darkness truther.
Absolutely.
So besides the new expansion, they added finally the what's the word?
Cards. They've added cards.
No, for getting rid of old cards.
Feeding the cards to your other cards.
I can't think of it.
You can upgrade your cards.
Matt, you're not helping.
Dusting them.
You know where you got your wrestler, and then you get another wrestler, but this one's stronger, and you feed that wrestler to this wrestler, and he eats him.
Is that true? Is that what this game has become?
No, it's not what this game has become, because this game's still good.
Oh.
Hey!
Does this game have coins?
No, it doesn't have
Hearth coins?
If only it did. What do they call it? I can't think of the name.
I don't know.
They got rid of the old cards. You can't use them unless you want to use them in
they
wild.
have the wild mode now.
They have wild mode where you can play all your old cards. So that made it a little bit less intimidating for me to jump into, despite the fact that I don't own any cards from like the last year or two, because I just haven't played. But knowing
So
that,
they
it's
even
like
let you play?
no, they let you play because you can use all the standard cards still.
Oh, okay.
And use the standard cards, and I have a couple from some of the expansions. So Naxxramas is null, and Gnomes versus Goblins is null, which is their first.
So it's just
expansions.
Grand Tournament and
And this
Whispers.
one.
now?
Whispers of Old Gods and League of Explorers.
Oh, and Black
Rock. Black Rock, whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
What do you mean, whatever? You should know, Mr. Wow Man.
Black Rock Spire, I think that's what it's called. Black Rock
Alright.
Mountain. Black Rock Mountain. That's it.
There you go.
Warcraft lore is garbage, though.
Oh, don't you say that.
What are you talking
They just
about?
they just take
They're
stuff from
just
other popular
releasing-
culture.
No, Katoon
the-
is an original character.
Sure, right.
Completely.
He's my original
And-
character.
Blondie.
Katoon.
and possessed characters that are stronger because they have a lot of the new cards are just like, remember Giant? Well, now he's got crazy stuff on him and he's slightly stronger.
Remember Gewabashi Bazooka? Well, this is him, but he
got tentacles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's crazy.
I've heard that the Katoon deck, if you stack it right, can be ridiculous in terms
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
The more thing I've seen is just the fact that
a podcast I was listening to was saying that
Yeah,
it was saying that the only viable strategy right now is doing that currently is on the higher
I was
levels
able to
of the
beat people
standard.
like
Grim
that. I beat someone
Patron.
today. Beat someone today.
Grim Patron.
You can still do that.
Let's go.
Still in there.
Let's go.
Hey,
Ricardo,
what I want.
when was the last time that you played Hearthstone?
Like 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing that I also found was neat is there is a app that you can download called Hearth Helper, I believe, where it tracks all your decks,
Is
and
it
then you
official?
can go to then you can go to hearthpwn.com, PWN.
Yep.
Hearthpwn.
Yeah, it's great.
And you can go up, and people have uploaded decks, and you can just hit the button that says show decks I can create with the cards I have, and it's like, oh, you could sort them by like usefulness or
That's cool.
release date, which makes it a lot easier for me. 'cause
I
I'm
like
just-
I
I like
used-
downloading separate apps and going to
I
separate
used to
websites
go
in order
on
to play
like
video games.
Hearthstone and look at decks and be like, I could kind of make this one and replace
Have to
this
take
one with
stuff
this
out,
one,
yeah.
and then it's like, man, this doesn't behave the
No,
way
it
it's supposed to at all.
So it's really nice to have that. It makes it a lot easier because I don't have time to like sit down and like tune my deck.
I don't have time to play this game. I got someone to play it for me.
Kinda. You still have to play it.
Yeah.
But the other thing that app does is it tells you as you draw your cards. It's like, hey, these are the cards that are still in your deck. Get ready for them. Get prepared for them.
ready.
So it's a little bit
Be
of an
ready.
assist, which is kind of neat.
It's neat. That's neat.
Yeah, I'm really kind of digging that game. I'm getting back into it. I'm saving my gold.
Maybe
but
I'll get back.
they're giving me
into
so many. They give you. You should get into it now because they're giving you a bunch of cards for free.
Still?
You get packs. So like if you just win 2 games, it's like here's like 5 packs of the new God cards, and if you win 7 more games, like here's 5 more packs, and then so you get like a pretty good. Yeah, taste, man. You love taste.
So, would you say just? Oh well, I guess you haven't. But I was gonna say, would you say get rid of, like all your old cards? Like,
I mean, if you want to play standard play, sure, but I feel like
I don't care.
yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
not that attached, except for Grim Patron. Not that
Well, Grim
attached
Patron's
to
not
him.
gone yet, so I don't know. I didn't even think about
Did you
getting
play
rid of all
Wild
my old
Mode at all?
cards.
Did you play it?
No, I figure I'll keep them because I have some dumb cards that are goofy that I figure you could put in there.
Annoyatron? Isn't that a Gnomes vs. Goblins?
Yeah, you can't use Noitron anymore.
Thank God. Get that idiot out of here.
You can use it in the wild mode.
You can use it in wild mode though, still. So don't play wild mode if you want to do that. I don't know. Maybe it is a good idea. I don't know if they're even worth gold dust anymore.
Gold Dust?
Gold dust, whatever dust.
The bizarre one?
Look at that up. Yeah, that game's neat.
That's neat.
It's continue being pretty good. That's all I played.
That's all that all of us have played.
Besides Street
Hooray!
Fighter and Heroes of Storm. But
Oh, yeah, you tried some Guile, right?
yeah, I tried. Oh yeah, I played a little bit of Guile. He's a charge character, and once I figured him out,
Did
it's
he
kinda neat.
beguile you?
Nah, I feel I'm still gonna dull.
No.
I don't know.
So that means it's time for the news.
The news.
So, E3's on fire.
What do you mean?
We didn't start the
Elaborate.
fire.
E3's on fire because Nintendo's like, man, I don't want to be here. I already mentioned I didn't want to be here, but like, guys, I really don't want to be here.
Well, it's
How
not-
about let's just bring one game? Let's just bring one game to E3.
It's just Zelda.
It's just Zelda. We want to immerse people in the Zelda experience.
But I think that this is a bigger thing to do with the Nintendo thing too, because like they had like a public.
Nintendo went crazy also.
They had a public. Well, they had to do an earnings statement, And like for other investors who are like, "Where's our money, Nintendo? Like you haven't done jack in a while, and your stuff's not doing too great." They're like, "Yeah, but we got Zelda, and we got a new console, and we're gonna tell you all the things about all these games, but we're not gonna address this like publicly. Well, we are. It is public because it's a publicly held company, but we're not gonna like create an announcement about it. We're just gonna be like, yep, by the way, Zelda is the only thing we have at E3, and by the way, the NX
coming out March 2017.
Yep. Which is the end of the fiscal quarter, so it's like, yep, we're getting it in this year, guys. Don't worry, like we'll make you money. Like,
what's going on? What is it?
And also Zelda.
Also, we're not gonna mention the NX very much at E3.
It's not gonna be mentioned at all. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna do a press conference. We're not gonna do anything.
Like what? That's the.
There was a pretty funny GIF that somebody created of the sequence in Seinfeld where George and Jerry are talking about the show that they're gonna pitch. That's about nothing, except it's replaced everything with Nintendo at E3, so it's like, what are we gonna announce at E3? Nothing. So I go up on the stage, they say, what do you got? I say nothing. He's like, yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good.
So
yeah, and they also said that Zelda is in fact going to be coming out on the NX and the Wii U, and it's being developed. They try to stress that like it's being developed on the NX, like specifically, like it's not just being like ported over, like we're developing it for the NX.
But that's the thing is,
who knows what that means?
Yeah,
like,
does? I don't know if you should be confident in that in any capacity, because does that mean the NX isn't going to be that much of a step up from the Wii U?
Yeah, and they specifically said they weren't doing that like a year and a half ago.
And also, like, how's the control? Is it going to have the dual screen on it still? Like, are we going to, because
who knows? The whole thing is a screen, right? That's fake
all
mock-ups.
Those fake mock-ups.
thing is a screen. So
those
like,
are from
those
those
look
are from,
awful,
but those are from a
I
patent. No, it's not gonna be like that. Like those are fake.
Yeah,
those
I
are
know that
proven to
they're
be
fake, but it looks awful if it's anything like that.
I'm sure it'll have buttons.
I don't think it'll be exactly like that. Just because like no one ever draws a patent exactly like how they're gonna design it.
What are you talking about?
That's not how patents work.
What are you talking about?
That's not how patents work. That's why you can tell those designs are fake straight away, because it's like, this is just, we just drew the patent and like made that.
They made the Mechanical Reaper. They were like, this is exactly what it looks like.
So Nintendo seems pretty bare for the rest of the year, because that was kind of their big title that they were going to come out with this year, and now it's like, well,
the Miyamoto's new clothes.
Pokemon Snap.
Nope.
Re-release.
Nope.
Pokemon Sun and Moon is probably the only thing that's...
Yeah, that was the only thing they mentioned.
What are you talking about? Monster Hunter Generations.
That's not Nintendo.
That's not a Nintendo game, though.
It's on their console, but it's not theirs.
It's the only console it's on, though.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's still not their game. They're not the
thing.
ones getting the most money from that. Like,
well, then never mind.
I'm talking about like
their shareholders don't care about that game as much.
It's true.
They should, though. Speaking of
shareholders should play a lot of
actually,
games.
this is a good segue for me, because I brought something, guys.
Oh,
I brought
no.
a foodstuffs. And you know what I sure love?
Food?
Monster Hunter.
Oh, it's crickets.
So I brought some Monster Hunter moss wine jerky.
Oh, I've seen these at
Both.
conventions.
Original flavor and barbecue spit flavor.
Barbecue
spit?
Like a spit that you turn it on.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna try this. Matt's opening up the original.
I forgot. I actually
version.
seen this before. It was
and
at
I'm opening up the
WonderCon,
barbecue spit.
I like how, other than just saying Monster Hunter, it doesn't even have like the Monster Hunter font. Oh yeah, it does. That's all it says though. It doesn't even have like the logo.
I haven't had jerky in a while. It's hard to eat.
The barbecue spit one is really good.
What was this one again?
Original. It's a great sound.
fine.
People eating into a mic is a delicious.
Try this one.
This is why people do try drinks on podcasts. It's not as gross sounding.
It's not as gross sounding as, especially not jerky, which is like.
We just try beers every time.
Mm.
And just rate them.
The new beer podcast.
I never heard of one of those, right?
I
The
call it
Beer
the
Cast.
Pixel Legends Podcast, and it's a beer podcast about beer. This is
The original one's pretty good.
This is a good plan. You got a Total Wine like down the street.
Yeah.
We can go there.
Let's go. Right now. With some jerky.
I'm trying the barbecue one now.
The barbecue one is good.
That one is better.
I'm gonna try the
You know what this tastes like?
jerky.
It tastes like jerky.
Yeah, I mean they kept it. They played
I
it
can
safe.
taste the monster.
Moss wine.
Oh yeah. Barbecue one's better texture too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
It's like
and soft.
softer.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's been marinated.
Mm-hmm.
Jerky.
Original's not bad. It's good. It's good jerky.
Yeah,
So
man.
Monster Hunter Jerky, you can purchase it at iam8bit.com.
I am 8-bit.
Yeah,
Do they have a partnership or are they just like?
it's the partnership. They also have a bunch of Monster Hunter shirts and stuff. So get ready for that cross. No, it's not called cross. It's called Generations.
A special
Monster Hunter
exclusive.
Cross Nintendo.
Bye.
Oh yeah, barbecue one's really good.
I want to have another one.
Yep.
Continue with the
Well,
next.
don't
story.
eat it. Don't eat all of it on the end of the mic.
We might. So anyway,
Yes. So Nintendo
it's doing
is-
crazy stuff.
is basically just saying like, we got nothing. We're totally treading water until
They
we
didn't
have
announce-
something.
They're trying not to say that
No,
by
they're-
saying that. By not saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not saying it to the public. Well, I mean, again, this is a public thing that you could get access to, which, of course, a lot of journalists, ran stuff about. But it wasn't like announced. It was just like this shareholder conference. We're like, yeah, by the way, guys, yeah, things are, things are going good. Things are going fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine. We got lots of games, but just one, but lots. Things are good.
I'm trying to think what else could come out. That Kirby game.
Paper Mario is coming out, I think.
Shut up. That game doesn't exist. It's not even real.
Color Splash.
Yep.
Real.
Kirby.
Uh,
Robobot.
more
Planet
Splatoon,
Robobot.
Splatoon updates.
It's like garbage. It's like a garbage game.
I don't know.
Mm.
Nintendo did announce that they're releasing a pair of mobile apps based on Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing franchises.
Yeah, they announced that.
Who knows what that'll be? Who knows what that'll be
Doesn't
actually?
even look like Paper Mario.
It doesn't-
Speaking of which, is anybody still playing Mitomo?
no.
I know,
Mitomo.
I've kind of fallen off of the
Little
Mitomo
me,
train.
big
I
adventures.
predicted it was going to last for a couple weeks, and everyone was just
That's
gonna
Pretty
leave.
much
about-
did.
Yeah, I keep getting notifications from it because the notifications are still turned on, and I've just been like,
Yeah, I've
ignoring
gotten
it.
a couple, and I'm like, I should jump back in, but then I have jumped back in, and it's like, there's nothing for me to do here.
Yep, that's about you were pretty much exactly dead on with your estimate on how long
Like,
it's
yep,
gonna last.
This is neat, novel. but
Tell me
it's-
something else about Nintendo, like what predict something else.
The NX will be portable at the same time because they're going to they're ditching both the 3DS and they're ditching both the Wii U at the same time, making it one console. Boom.
I haven't confirmed that yet.
I know, but that's my prediction.
Okay.
Bold.
That's my bold prediction.
And you
Is
know what?
he correct?
I've got a prediction too.
Hmm.
Last Guardian is not dead.
What?
yeah,
Get out of here. That's impossible.
Have you seen it since last E3? I risk my case.
Oh, jeez. So Nintendo is... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Or
weird.
is that the only reason E3 is on fire?
Yeah,
I
honestly.
want to find out more. I want to
a
find
bunch
out more about that Zelda game.
I mean, like E3 or not E3. EA
Bunch of
pulled
companies-
out.
yeah, so did something else too. Ubisoft or
I
was
think
it
Ubisoft's still there.
Was it someone else did? It wasn't just EA. It was like 2K.
I think it was
was it?
2K. Yeah, I think it was 2K.
No, they're still gonna be. All of them are gonna be there. They're just not gonna be renting show floor space.
It's just weird showing. It's just I don't know. I think the messaging behind this was a little bit weird too.
Well, and it wasn't messaged.
Yeah,
at
it
all.
was- well,
it was
but-
just they tried to slip it through a press release.
And then they
did-
tweeted about it, and that was about it. But it's like, whoa, wait. And then they released it to shareholders. But I don't know. It felt like this should have been a Nintendo Direct kind of announcement. But I guess it's
Well,
all bad
But
news.
it's not news that they want to like. I mean, they could have tried. They could have like tried to put a spin on it or something like that. But
Yeah, I guess.
We are delivered directly to you.
but
We are not at E3.
yeah, I didn't feel like they didn't want people to know about this information, or they didn't want it to be like a big thing. I don't think.
Yeah, they didn't want to make a big deal out of it. They didn't want to bring the puppets out for this.
I mean, what are you gonna say? We've got one game at E3. It's Zelda. It's great.
Also, NX is
Just-
coming out next year. Bye.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna, how are you gonna announce that in a way that sounds good?
Bring Miyamoto out.
Remember when they announced the Zelda game, and then they announced that Star Fox was coming, like very
Yeah,
subtly?
like, well, it wasn't even the same. It wasn't even an announcement. It was like here's an update for the Zelda game. Like, here's like,
Yeah.
it's like, and you're working on Star Fox, aren't you?
And that's good.
Yeah.
Star Fox is coming out before this, right? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Anyway, Zelda's pretty cool. And
Um,
like that was the whole thing. Like,
Well, we know now why that was just an offhand.
Everyone's just like,
comment.
wait, what?
because they were delaying Zelda for the NX.
I was gonna say because Star Fox didn't end up being anything to really
Yeah.
write home
And
about.
It's also
but
because Star Fox was being developed by a different studio, not by Nintendo.
Platinum. Kamiya, Star Fox will not be in Smash. Oh wait. That might be a deep cut for Matt.
I missed that one. It's just Bayonetta will not be in Smash.
Yes.
And then she was.
All right, enough about Nintendo. Let's talk about something else that's on fire. Oculus has been. This has been going on a while, and we haven't reported on it, but the Oculus, everyone's making their Oculus way late. Everyone.
Like, as in, like, no one's been getting them.
Yeah, except for, like, the Kickstarter backers.
Yeah, they all got theirs. Like, the Kickstarter got theirs, like, day one.
Yeah.
Is this a production thing, or what's going on?
Pretty sure they haven't announced exactly why.
I think someone tweeted, though. I think someone that either worked or Palmer Lucky himself said so, like, there's a supply shortage, or, like,
something
said
like
something
that.
Along those lines.
It's probably their custom lenses, because those are completely made from the ground up just for this. But it's been going bad. They've waived the shipping fee for everyone, which is good of them.
Anyone who bought it before they announced it. So like if you bought it before April 10th or whenever they announce the free shipping, then if you bought it before that date, you get free shipping.
Which is good of them, but still a lot of people are just straight up not getting it. So much so that people were looking at buying these Oculus Ready PCs that came with the Rift as well, and they're very limited supplies, but it's like you get a PC and you get the Rift at the same time. People are like, I might as well buy that. It'll come sooner than my actual Rift. And some people were doing that. And now it's going on sale at Best Buy.
Wait, the Rift?
The Rift is going on sale at Best Buy starting on May 7th.
What?
At certain locations, 48 Best Buy locations, total.
How are they going to sell that?
They're going to sell them in limited quantities, and they're expecting some people are going to be mad. They're going to show up, and they'll actually be able to cancel your online order there and still get all the benefits of, like, the free games.
What the hell?
And you could just walk away with the Rift then.
This is a mess.
That's a little bit of a mess.
That's a pretty big mess. Yeah, so
I don't know how you sell it. Like, but I mean, like, so like if you know what the Oculus Rift is, yeah, sure. But like if you're just someone who's like walking into a Best Buy and you're like, what's this thing? Like, how's the Best Buy employees going to? Oh, it's like
like VR, man.
VR,
It's
like put on
exactly
your face.
That's exactly how they'll help too.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I've been to a Best Buy before.
It's a thing. You can use it on a computer.
Yeah.
Do you have a computer?
You have a computer? Yeah, I got a computer.
Well,
it'll
a
work
Mac?
with that.
It doesn't work on a Mac.
It doesn't work on Mac. But that's it. Yeah, you gotta have a computer.
Just plug it in.
Plug it in, and then you can play games on it and stuff. Comes with some games or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they said Polygon asked how many units we set aside for retail, and they said a very small amount. Or they declined to cite specifics, but they said a very small amount right now.
Yeah, because of course they don't want to make it be like
as
all of them.
As we focus on pre-orders. I mean, it's also going on sale on Amazon too, and
right. They should
and,
really
and Microsoft.
They should. So I would bet they had these all of these retail stuff were prearranged.
Probably
like 6 months ago, before they even did the pre-orders. They probably arranged
the thing is
all
if
these
you
retail ones.
I feel like there's bigger penalties for missing retail than there is.
Yeah,
for
your retail partner gets mad at you and
Yeah.
doesn't put your game on.
Which is
Doesn't put
worse.
your thing on the shelf. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
there's bigger consequences for that instead of like consumers. They can just wait.
They get mad, but they already paid. So
It's just funny that like they did this and then people were like, who pre-ordered the Vives were like getting theirs like way in advance. Because guess what? HTC has made hardware before.
Yeah, they know how to do their stuff.
Well, Oculus is
brand new
from Facebook.
And yeah,
and they haven't
well,
shipped,
they're a
like,
brand new
hardware.
company by themselves, and they were bought by Facebook, which never makes hardware. So
What are
Yeah,
you
they
talking
don't-
about? Check out my sick Facebook phone. Remember that one phone that had like the Facebook button on
I
it or
remember that.
whatever?
yeah, that wasn't made by them.
I know, but I just thought that was really weird.
Yeah, it was pretty dang weird. So yeah, it's a hot mess. We'll see if people are gonna get happy later on. But it just
I would even be willing to bet that they like had a bunch produced, and then they found the defect. And they were like, "Oh crap! All of
that
these,
could've been
this entire batch is bad. We can't use any of these because we're gonna have to replace them if we send them
Could've
out."
been
And
it,
had
but
to,
they
like,
got-
completely like remake a bunch of them.
I wonder, but that you feel like that would have cropped up with the Kickstarter backers because they got theirs really early.
That's true, but like if you had a batch that was bad, like a large batch, but
That's
a batch,
true.
but then there were some that were good, you would say, well, we'll send
guess
those out to
that's
the Kickstarter straight away, and then as we get the next ones in, send those out to the rest of the people. Because that's what happened with the iPhone 4. The iPhone 4, the original one, when you pre-ordered, there's a white and a black option.
Oh,
And
I
it just like
remember about this.
and it took like over a year for the white.
I
the white
remember
one to
that.
come
That was
out.
super weird.
Yeah, it was like a really long time. Like and there was some, and I think they like produced them. Like it was near enough. Like you could pre-order it, and that was like 2 weeks before they came out. So they were clearly being made because they
Yeah.
were taking pre-orders for them, and they just never came out because I think that all the rumors were that there was some sort of like defect found that the white would like turn not white after a very short amount of time. Yeah, so they just never came out with those models, which I wouldn't be surprised if, considering how like soon it was after release that this started happening, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that.
It's so weird.
Pure speculation.
So
Pure
weird.
speculation.
You're probably right.
All I'm
Honestly,
hearing is screw VR. Don't do it.
No,
All I'm
man.
hearing is that Vive got their stuff out. you
They
can
did
get one
fine.
out on time, I guess.
Good old Valve doing it.
That's also more expensive.
Oh yeah, where's Half-Life 3 then?
It was not coming out for the V. Remember how you were? That was
It's
your other
coming.
prediction.
It's the
Wasn't your-
E3 announcement.
Yeah, because on Valve's press conference that they always have every year.
You know it.
They'll be at the Microsoft one.
All right, what else? What else in the news?
So Rock Band 4, instead of a sequel coming out this next year, they're just like, remember all that stuff we didn't have in the game, like online multiplayer? Well, you can buy an expansion for that.
Boo, you whore! I don't even like Rock Band, but like, well, I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm not like a big fan. But like, selling multiplayer?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
It doesn't,
feel
it
like-
doesn't make it sound like it's being sold.
Okay, I just thought, yeah, I had heard it
They
was.
say it's the expansion, so it makes it sound like it costs money.
I had heard it was just multiplayer being added, and I was like, okay, that's cool.
I can't help but feel like our good friends at Harmonix really screwed the pooch on this one.
Stupid Harmonix, what do they know? But yeah, and they also got brand new features coming. That's what they say. There are more announcements at E3, but the main thing they're adding is multiplayer, which is something that every other Rock Band had, including the first one.
Out of the box.
Out of the box, ready to go. Screwing the pooch. And you know that fig for the PC version didn't
Yeah,
get funded.
no, it didn't.
They
Who
didn't
was
get
going to
funded.
fund
It was
that?
like half. It got half funded. Yeah. I feel like Harmonix, man.
Is
Monix
this
is in trouble.
the last
I
hurrah?
refuse to say it that stupid way.
You mean the right way? Harmonix. Like that's what it says.
That's what I said.
Yeah. All right. Did you guys hear about that? John Romero and Adrian Carmack Kickstarter.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I did hear about that. Yeah, it was like John Romero's gonna be designing all the levels. He's gonna be making them. It's like, and then I remember hearing some people whose video game opinions that I thought were pretty solid, being like, "Oh man, that's cool." I'm like, dude, the guy's design levels in like 20-something years. Like, do you think he's gonna just jump back in and be in like the new game, like the modern era of game development, and be
He
like, yeah,
also-
I'm right back in designing the perfect levels
He
again.
also
like,
made Daikatana, which
yeah,
nobody liked.
which was terrible.
So,
True, but hey, man, he's got cred.
He's got chops.
He's got cred back in
He's been practicing his
98.
chops.
But they canceled their Kickstarter.
What?
Oh, wait, what?
It was
Well-
successful, like really fast, right?
They didn't cancel it. They delayed it. So they put it on like hold. I guess they said it's technically canceled on the Kickstarter website, but it is delayed until they get a working demo out, which is I guess kind of noble. But
I think that's also a rule.
no,
less
that's
le-
only for hardware, not
Is
for
it
software.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
for hardware you have to have
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure
show
Mighty
prototype.
Number 9 didn't have jack shit playable
Nope.
when it went
Mighty
out.
number 9,
And it
A
still
game- a
probably
game
doesn't
that's
have
never
anything
coming out?
playable.
Hey, they announced the release date for it again.
Oh yeah,
And?
it's
When
like
is it?
it's like March now. I think it went.
2018.
I had it on here and now it's gone.
We need a tracker for Mighty number 9.
Seriously, dude. If you want to place like actual bets, like that would be the game to place bets on, like when it actually comes out. I don't see it. Whatever. I think it was July 27th or something.
Another good bet is like how many more Kickstarters from that same company.
June 21st. I found it.
Wow, it got pushed back again. It was like March last time I checked.
No, it's. I swear it's coming out this time. Matt.
I'm good for it, man.
Matt.
You know I'm good for it.
Matt. You
Just
know
June.
need a little bit more. Just need a little bit more money.
it's June, dude. You know what happens in June? Like Father's Day,
Okay, where are you going with this? Keep going.
summer,
Our mom's birthdays.
our mom's birthdays. Yeah, stuff happens in
No
June.
Man's Sky.
My number 9. Yeah, totally not gonna get dwarfed by that game.
They're kind of different games, to be fair.
True. You're right.
They're both open world space adventures.
You're right about that. But I think it's cool that they actually were able to kind of pressing pause on their fundraising campaign to bring out a demo, which
Maybe that means they just didn't want to do it. Maybe they're like, maybe John Romero was like, wait, designing a whole game? Oh, I thought we were just doing more Doom levels.
He's like, nobody wants to see look up and down, right?
Yeah.
They just wanted to go on
And
a
they're like,
horizontal plane.
wait, John, and he's like, I'm not doing it if you have to look up and down.
Up and down. Oh, breaking news. Nintendo will not sell the NX at a loss, and they won't rush the hardware for this holiday.
Yeah, well,
Alright.
they never sell their hardware for a loss.
I know, but they're still not doing it, even though like, you know, they're kind of in dire needs at the moment. Kind of not in the best light.
Yeah, weird. Their weird insistence on doing that is odd, considering how much money they have in the bank. I mean, I know they've been losing a lot of money, so maybe that's why they don't want to do it. But that means that you either have to underpower your hardware or have expensive hardware.
Well,
The last 3 consoles they've done have been underpowered hardware.
$500 Nintendo NX. Would you
mean,
pay?
Yeah, because Nintendo.
That would be on the high end. Like if that new Zelda game looks so amazing that I could only have it on the NX.
What if Zelda was girl?
On an NX version.
Well,
that's it.
Well, as a liberal, I would have to support that game with my dollars, and also shout at someone on Twitter about it.
Do it.
I like your liberal voice.
As a liberal.
As a liberal.
Well, I am basing it off someone that we knew in high school. That Fallon used to tell that story all the time.
I don't remember that.
You remember that one?
This is
And
the
I'm not gonna name
niche's
that person.
joke.
Yeah, this is the most niche. Is that really?
Well, I mean, no one else would have known that unless you brought it up. It's just
You didn't have to elaborate on it.
I just didn't know that voice.
Well, I thought you would know.
Give me a first name.
Alex.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Bleep that out.
No, it's fine.
Bleep it out.
I doubt he listens.
And if he does, hi, Alex.
Been a long time, man. Hope you're doing well.
Yep.
Fuck you, Alex.
Whoa! Damn.
Was it with Ricardo saying F to my friends?
I hate them all. I only can friends.
Except Brandon. You like Brandon.
I love Brandon.
Yeah, he was my friend.
Now he's our friend. We took your friend and made him our own. He's coming to my birthday.
Yeah, I know, and he's going to my birthday. Well, I don't have a birthday anymore. My birthday's gone.
Birthday's over.
It's done.
We missed it. But you know what we never missed? Trailer trash.
We never missed it except for those weeks that we never did it because it didn't exist.
Well, that's true. We never missed it since.
I tried to do like a jug.
Do it again.
Boop, boop, boop. It doesn't really sound,
Nah,
it doesn't
I like
sound
a jug.
It
effective.
sounds like you're just going boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop,
Beep, boop, bop.
Dubstep.
Beep, boop.
boop, boop, bah!
All right. So the first trailer we watched was Call of Duty
No Man's Sky.
Infinite War, which is Destiny, right?
It is
It's got
Space
Robots.
of Duty.
Space of Duty. And it was a cool trailer because you're like, oh man, look, it looks like a
It's all
generic
war.
ass.
It's
It
all
looks like a
future
generic
war.
ass future war game.
And it's like, and then
No.
you go into space.
And you fly in a spaceship and you shooting dudes,
and then
it's like
and then it's like ground control to Major Tom. I'm like, this song does not fit this at all. It's like a bunch of people blowing up and
no, that's
dying.
space. It's all about space.
But it wasn't the Bowie version.
No, it was like
No,
a
it's
it was
like
like a
a-
rock it was like a rock. It was like some Nickelback cover of it, basically.
Understand a hero can save.
That would have fit better. That would have fit better in that trailer, to be honest.
That was a Call of Duty trailer.
Yep.
was.
It was
But
like
the
everything was
only
very
part
serious
I
and
cared
very extreme.
about in this was then it was like, this is Lieutenant Price, and he's fucking outraised this shit, and I'm smoking a stogie, and I'm all stay frosty guys and shit, because they're just gonna make Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 4 now system.
Yeah. Ricardo,
when did you start talking like me?
It affected him so
For
much
now
that
system.
he got his brain got fried.
Finish off this barbecue.
But it's
stick.
only available if you like pre-order the ultimate edition or something like. It's not called the ultimate edition. It's called like the special
Premium edition. It's
Well-
like $79.99.
Well, that strategy worked.
Really?
'Cause I want it.
That much?
I want it.
It's Call of
Are you sure
Duty.
they're not gonna just sell it alone?
They might.
I'll have to double check to make
Yeah,
sure.
they might just sell it by itself. And
It's
that
just Call of Duty.
Call of Duty 4 is really good though.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It's really good at the time.
It's good at the time. You've also
I
seen,
wonder-
you've also
yeah.
seen it like 8 more times. When did that come out? 2006.
Yeah, 2006, 2007, something
You've
like that.
now seen it 10 times since then. That same thing.
Not the same.
It had a simplicity to it that was really nice. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll hold up as well. We'll see.
I'm gonna feel that emotional resonance when they gun down Gaz on the bridge again and be like, my friend,
Spoilers.
my friend.
This 10-year-old.
Or that one time when you die with the nuke.
Yes.
You're like, whoa.
And
And they did it in every game
everyone's like, that was so intense. That's crazy.
Hey, that game was great
It
at
was
the time.
At the time.
At the time, it was
No,
crazy
yeah.
good.
I'm just wondering, will they have a recreation Call of Duty 4 multiplayer?
They said 10 maps. Said multiplayer maps.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like, do you think it's gonna still be the same old system?
Probably. I would hope so.
Let's go.
I would say
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna say no. I'm saying they'll pull a Halo, and
They're
it's
gonna add a
gonna
bunch of stuff?
no, it's gonna be the same maps, but
But,
it's gonna
like,
be
with all
it's
the
gonna
new
be all the
systems?
new systems.
Uh,
That's what the Halo remastered versions did.
That's true. Well, we'll have to
Hopefully
see
not.
when time comes. Time comes, man. November, whenever it drops, Call of Duty month.
Yeah.
November. Call of Duty month.
I'm just throwing it out there. Who
It's
knows
also
if it
funny
actually
that
will
they
be.
called it Infinite Warfare when it's
Infinite
made
War.
by Infinity Ward.
Ha!
Get it? Get it? You get it? You guys get
It
it?
also
Yeah.
means, it also means they're running out of titles.
remember when it was like,
Because we're gonna call the next one Infinite War 2 is more infinite. This is more infinite than this one.
Forever War?
Yeah, like they're D-War Dragon Wars.
Yes. Highway Dragons.
Call of Duty D-War.
Call
So
of
you're
Duty
saying that
Cthulhu.
the next one's gonna have kaiju in it?
I would be down. I would play that
Call of Duty Warhammer 40K. Call of Duty.
Total Infinite Warfare.
Total Infinite Future Advanced Warfighter Warfare
40K.
40K Space Marine.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Does
do it.
that come with a World at War upres?
Yes, it does.
World
That
at
goes
War.
to World at
Let's
War
go.
upres.
Oh man, the game that nobody remembers.
You could get dogs in that game.
You could. That was a kill streak. I remember that.
Yep.
That's all I remember.
That's all I remember too.
Moving on to the next trailer, because that's only the first trailer.
Squid Sisters amiibo announcement.
Which I'm not even sure this. I think this should be disqualified from trailer
Nope.
trash.
There was gameplay footage. There was
It's
gameplay
not-
footage
it's
exclusive.
not a
There were
trailer for
new
the game.
new dances,
New dance.
new song. I don't remember. You could do that. And you could just watch them dance or whatever.
I don't
before?
think so. I
No,
think that's why you have
what's
to
so
buy
new about
this.
it. You buy this
Man.
and you can see them perform in your Squid
Yeah.
Hub.
Otherwise, you could just go up to like the second floor and you'd see them like on their coffee break up there, and then
Yeah.
they'd wave at you.
I remember that.
And I'm like, oh, these guys are so cool.
It's that
They tell you about.
Tsunemiku
They tell you
squid.
what levels are being played.
Yes, they do tell you what levels
And
are
that
being
was
played,
cool.
and they're like, what if we get paint all over everybody's apartments? And it's like, who cares?
Or they're like, oh man, it's so foggy in this level. No, that's just draw distance. Pretty good.
Nintendo's localization is pretty good.
Their localization is good. I feel like they understand everything way more than actual Nintendo does.
Yes, their localizers. Yeah,
Yeah.
their localizers are smart. Too bad they fired them.
Oh.
No, she wasn't a localizer.
Just one.
She wasn't a localizer.
And then she wasn't a
She was
localizer.
marketing.
Assemblance was the next trailer
Assemblance.
watch.
Was it?
I barely remember.
So is this a semblance? Or
it
is
looks like in
a
the title
semblance?
it's together, but it's kind of supposed to represent
I
a
feel like- I
semblance.
feel like this game might be really cool. Might be.
It might be, but
I don't know what else
it wasn't too memorable.
It was
to
very
me,
Soma
honestly.
esque.
It was very Soma-esque. And I
Kind of
could totally use
creepy,
another one of
atmospheric.
those.
It's weird, kind of sci-fi future stuff,
Or
but
what's
also
real,
like a
man?
house in a like a normal looking house. And,
I love that stuff. I'm curious about it, but it didn't really do much more than just like, here's some creepy stuff. What's the story? I don't know.
it had a voiceover.
Yeah, one of those voiceover trailers. After you've been seeing trailers a lot once a week, you kind of know. You kind of get in the rhythm of how
One
what
of
this
those
trailer
voiceover
is.
trailers, huh?
The reveal
As
trailer.
they call it in the industry. One of those voiceover trailers.
Huh.
Huh.
We got to get a good voiceover man for our voiceover trailer. Which one you want to get?
In a world.
I want to get Keith David.
Keith David.
Keith
That's the
David.
right answer.
Forever.
You win.
Congrats.
Da-da-da-da.
Your prize,
Da-da-da-da.
the jerky you brought.
Da-da-da-da. Oh, we already finished one of them.
The good one. Yeah, the
good
the barbecue one's gone.
Yep.
The other one's just okay. Battleborn launch trailer, because that game's coming out. What was the date on that?
Soon.
Perfect.
May 14th?
May 14th, coming out on the same time as Overwatch. Speaking of which, Matt, we pro
Maybe it was
Overwatch,
I
like-
did,
right?
and I got my email saying, "Hey,
Here's
here's
your
your code for." And I got a friend code as well.
Yeah, I got a friend code as well.
But so did Brandon, so I don't have anyone.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else. Make your wife play it.
she doesn't have a PC. It's not Mac.
It's not Mac?
It's not Mac. They specifically said that Overwatch is not going to be Mac. Which is weird because Blizzard does everything
Yeah, that's
Mac
weird.
and PC. This is the only thing they're like, no, it's not going to be Mac.
Weird. Never mind.
I don't know why. I know, right? Otherwise, I would totally have given it to her.
Well, okay.
But yeah, so we should play that.
I'm excited. I'm really excited
You've
for
already
Overwatch
played it,
just
I think,
because,
right?
yeah.
And Fallon's been playing it for forever.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
really
wanna jump
excited
into
for
it.
that game because I feel like so many more people I know are getting that game, and they're all getting it on PC, which is making me happy. A lot of my friends are, so it would be good, just like the good old TF2 days where everyone played that game.
Man, that was the best.
That was the best. Hopefully it'll be the same thing. Anyway,
bam.
Battleborn, that is a game that is like the weird split between Overwatch and
Paragon.
where it's like, here's a shooter game.
But
That
it's
is
kind
also
of
a
like
MOBA.
It's like
MOBA,
class-based, and it's
different
kind of a MOBA,
characters.
and then there's... You can play co-op, you can play versus, you can play arena, you can play like lanes and creeps, and it's
I
kind of
just-
confusing as to what's actually what in that game.
I just don't think the game, like, nothing looks like when the actual gameplay does not look satisfying for me.
Yeah.
Because and then you said, "Oh, because it's Borderlands, because it's Gearbox," and then it clicked with me. Yes, none of the shooting looked impactful.
Yeah,
at
you're like,
all.
it doesn't look impactful, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Borderlands.
So, I don't know. I mean, again, maybe it'll play fantastically and it'll be a great game, but it doesn't look super duper appealing. Plus, like the
No, it really doesn't.
same kind of Gearbox, like I was gonna say garbage, but
Hey.
really kind of Gearbox like feel for it, like the humor,
Yeah.
like being obnoxious, comes through in this
He dropped
trailer.
the mic.
With that, he dropped his sword, which was like him dropping the mic, which is what the Minions did in that Gmail.
And
prank.
Obama.
And Obama did it as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I miss when Gearbox just made Brothers in Arms. Those are good games.
Remember when they were gonna make that like weird
Brothers in Arms and
Brothers
Glorious
in
Bastards
Arms,
type
yeah,
thing?
like
That's
sort
probably
of
where
like
it's like.
Left 4 Dead style.
Huh. Could've been
I don't
interesting.
remember that at all.
I remember they announced that E3. I think it was when we went actually.
Probably.
A
I
while
can't
ago.
remember
A lot
what
of
it was
stuff.
called.
A lot of
And then
stuff going on.
And then it was gonna just be like not related to the Brothers in Arms, like something like they were just like, it's too different. We're not gonna give it the Brothers in Arms like tag, and then it just disappeared.
I remember that. Probably just became Borderlands.
It might have become Borderlands, or it might have become this game. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so lukewarm on this game. It seems like it's trying to do everything and it's like mastering none of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because just at the end of the trailer, it just popped up with like, play it co-op, play it split screen, play with friends, play it against friends, play competitively, play like a MOBA. And it's like, okay,
It's hobby grade.
it's hobby grade.
It's hobby grade.
You can just play anything. It's like, I don't know. The character designs look pretty cool though.
Yeah,
I like
It was
the art.
cool. The art was definitely interesting. I thought the art was cool.
It looks like a neat game,
Yeah.
but I don't.
But I also
feel-
get that similar kind of art vibe. I mean, it's not the same, but
Is it-
it's similar art vibe from Overwatch, and Overwatch looks like it's going to be amazing.
Is it free to play? It's not free to play, is it?
No, pretty sure it's not.
I don't think it's free to play. I think there's a demo. out.
Paragon's free to play though, right?
Yes, Paragon will be free to play.
More interested in trying that just because it's free.
Next.
Hatsune Miku.
Miku.
Project Diva X official help restore light trailer.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't really
Ricardo,
know.
Ricardo was watching this news going, yes.
This game looks tight as hell. I want to play this game.
Honestly, it makes my eyes like dart all over the screen. I hate that.
Yeah. You
That was
gotta
the thing.
help Hatsune Miku restore light to the digital world. It's all dark and she's sad and she can't do it without your help. She needs your help to sing the songs. Also, the song lyrics for one of the songs says chocolate bath, sleeping in a pillow of
whipped
whipped
cream.
cream. I am lol or
I am
something.
lol.
I am
Yeah,
lol.
I'm lol.
I'm lol.
I think
And-
Ricardo likes this because
and-
it's
and-
restore the light, and he was talking about how I was sitting in the darkness, and he just really wants to restore
Yeah.
the light
Yes.
to how things were.
It's everything.
He's
I
in the
ever
Brotherhood of the
wanted.
Sunlight or something like that. I keep getting it wrong.
Warriors of Sunlight.
that's right.
Praise the sun.
Yes.
He's taking it very seriously. He's taking it into his personal life.
This game looks great. It looks like a cool rhythm game. I want to play it.
Yeah. I mean,
It looks solid.
I can't even tell if this is a different version of the same game because Project Diva X has been around for a while. Is this like a brand new release, a brand new thing, or is it like an expansion pack for the game that already exists? I don't know,
I don't know.
but those games have gotten like decent reviews for what they are. Like they're supposed to be pretty good rhythm games. So
Let's go. I'm
There's that.
lol. I'm
chocolate bathtub. I'm sleeping in a pillow of whipped cream. It's genius.
I am
lol.
lol. Forget I am bread. I am lol. Soft body. But what about soft body?
Soft body, man. Have you ever taken a drugs?
Yeah. I mean, no.
Trick question.
Because this game
I'm
looks,
a cop.
This game looks like drugs.
Soft body. It is you control
A soft
blobby.
body.
You control a blobby thing, and you touch different geometrical shapes.
You gotta
and
run
then-
away from
I
other
swear I
shapes.
played this game at
I don't
Indicate
know
or
what
something.
it is exactly that's happening because it's like there's two blobbies on the screen and one doesn't really seem to be doing anything, and so I don't know if that's supposed to be a co-op thing or if
I think I swear I
Or
played this
what?
game, and I think you play. It's not a co-op game. I think you play both lobbies.
hmm.
And
With the different sticks.
something like that. Yeah, use different sticks. I think that's it.
It looks like it
Hate
could be
it.
neat, but I don't really know what it is. So
It looks trippy.
It looks a little bit too esoteric for me. I'm using that
you
word a lot.
just you
yeah, I
love
just
that
use that
word today.
Too abstract.
Abstract. Looks too abstract for me. Too confusing. Too much.
Too much.
Not enough.
So, I was looking at IGN real quick. They started putting reviews on the reviews in progress, review scores on the reviews in progress now. Before they didn't do that, and they did Battleborn. Guess the rating.
7.5.
6.
7.3.
I was close.
I was just
Every
weird.
IGN rating.
7.3. What a weird rating. The 0.3. It's like why? What is the 3?
Well, 100-point scales are stupid.
Yeah, they really are.
Not, like,
It's so minute.
if you're a math teacher, how do you tell if something's an 89 or an? Well, I mean, if you're like, the number of questions. If you're an English professor and you're reading an essay, how do you tell if it's an 89 or a 90?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dumb. It's dumb.
Dumb. Anyway, review scores. They're silly. Certain review scores are silly.
But also, IGN's review scores are always 7 or 8.
That's true. Or like 10, masterful, if
Yeah.
it's like amazing or whatever. Trailer trash winner. What do we got?
Is that all the games already?
That's all of them.
I could have sworn there was one more. No, I guess not.
No.
Guys,
Okay, we'll go. Who are you guys winners?
Call of Duty because it went to space and had the David Bowie cover.
I hate that garbage David Bowie cover.
I kind of liked how bad it was.
So Matt.
Nothing really stuck out to me this time.
You gotta pick one.
I know. There's gotta be a winner. Ricardo.
I liked Call of Duty Infinite Warfare because of Lieutenant Price.
That doesn't count. I don't think that count.
It counts. It's part of the trailer. You can't
was-
take
it
it as
was
a
part of the
separate
trailer.
part
Matt,
of
you
the
got-
trailer.
Matt, as
I
soon
like
as the
how
video
your-
starts and as soon as it
Your
ends,
favorite
it's a
part
trailer.
of the trailer is for a different game that's not even the game.
So frosty. It's colder than a witch's tit
All right,
out here.
I'm just gonna have to go with Hatsune Miku since I'm the only one defending her honor.
Yeah,
That's a good one
I
too.
expected Ricardo to jump on that, but
Nah.
I know nothing.
He'll jump on that. She's like 14.
Oh, that's no
I
good.
don't know. She's also like a weird robot digital AI thing. So who knows
She
how
doesn't
old?
exist. Doesn't matter. It's whatever your imagination
She's actually
is.
like 5 because I think that's how long.
Or
she's
she
been
could be
around.
like 30.
Well, I mean,
like really
I mean,
nice skin.
I think like she was created like 5 years ago. I mean,
Oh.
I don't know.
Ugh.
She's not the caramel dancing,
I don't know.
right?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a great song.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you know?
I know that we're done with the trailer trash, which means we're done with the Pixel Podcast
That's
for
true.
today.
We are done. Congratulations on our 100th episode, guys.
100 episodes.
100 episodes.
And this
We
is
were
the,
funnier, right?
This is the last episode of the Pixel Podcast. Thanks everyone for joining us.
That was great.
Yeah, we're done now.
Goodbye.
Matt finally returned to
Farewell.
close it out. He
Yep.
closed the deal.
On the closer.
We had to get him
No,
back.
we'll keep going until we hate each other.
Well, wait.
Well,
so
then we
this is
should
the
have
last
stopped
episode.
months
right?
ago.
Hey,
Hey-o.
but no, but seriously, guys.
You guys are being real jerky.
Oh, it's because
All right,
we
now,
ate a
now,
whole bag
now,
of
I,
turkey.
now I hate each other. Now I hate him.
Now I hate each other.
I am lol.
I'm lol.
All right, so with that, this ends the funny episode of the Pixel Podcast. We'll be back with normal episodes next week.
Maybe.
101
Dalmatians.
episodes of podcasting brought to you by Pixel Legends. That'll be next week. Stay tuned.
Beer.
Beer reviews added on to the Pixel Podcast coming next week. The turning over of a new leaf.
But Matt, how are people supposed to know where they can find us online? You didn't do any of that in the outro.
He's
This is
been away.
still the outro. We're not
been
done
away.
We're
yet.
still in the outro.
You can go to pixellegends.com. You can find us on
There
iTunes at the Pixel Podcast. We have,
On
we have Twitter, Pixel_Legends, and also our Facebook, Pixel Legends. 1L.
What about our YouTube?
YouTube is youtube.com/Pixel Legends with 1L.
Good job.
Yeah.
I feel like our outros are getting messy.
What?
Ah,
What?
How do we
What?
end
What?
the podcast?
Now.